field. We are joined by the new chair of the College Football Playoff Selection Committee, Hunter Yurachek, Arkansas AD, and now serving as the chair. Hunter, I want to talk. Let's talk first. Miami, based on the rankings, will be in the field. We know they have to win the ACC to get in. How close is Miami and Notre Dame in terms of evaluation within the room?
I think when you look, Reese, at Notre Dame and Miami, we really compare the losses of those two teams. Miami has lost to two unranked teams. Notre Dame has lost to two teams that are ranked in our top 13. And so we really haven't compared those two teams. They haven't been in similar comparative pools to date, but Miami is creeping up into that range where they will be compared to Notre Dame if something happens.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Could have said it better myself, sir. Honestly. What was that bumbling fool talking about right there? Insulting our intelligence as college football fans. When the hell was such a thing as a good loss? There are no good losses. How dare you, you buffoon from Arkansas? Jethro Clampett? Goodness gracious. Who is this guy? Get him the fuck out of here. I want the other guy back, the one that liked us from a couple weeks ago. Put the other guy on, as Bruce Willis would say in Die Hard. Yeah, we're going holiday. We're going ham tonight, man. That fool actually sat there with a straight face. Shut up. That's what I wanted to say to him. Why don't you just do the good old weave and bobble that a politician normally does and just say, well, you know, it still has to play out. There's still a few games that we need to factor in. I mean, there's still a lot to happen. You could have even given that, and that would have been a better answer than what you just did, you dumbass. How dare you even say that there's such a thing as a good loss? There are no good losses, okay? That's for teams that know that they got paid $1 million to fund their athletic department to take an ass whipping for 4 quarters. Or 2 halves, depending on what sport you're talking about here. The hell out of here. And let's not forget the loss you had right off the bat was to the team that we're even in question here. Even if I wasn't a Miami fan, I would be fired up with the stupidity. I think they just make it up as they go. I never heard about this tier shit before. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Stallion Speaks. And yes, this episode 6 is going to get rough. Again, viewer discretion is advised, and we are going against the pack. Who is the pack, may I say? Well, you can decide who the pack is, because the pack are the people that are just making it up as they go. There is no rules. It's basically, let's just make sure we get the teams in that fit our agenda. Let's put the teams in that we want to see, instead of letting it play out and getting the best of the best to go at it and knock boots and gloves and kick each other's asses for this next month and a half. I am your boy, the Italian Stallion, and yeah, I'm fired up on a Sunday night like this. When a buffoon like that gets on here and talks about garbage about, oh, their losses are better than their losses, even though those two teams played. Never mind the fact that Alabama lost to a Florida State team that Miami quite handled. Again, my co-host is going to talk about, had you taken care of business in those two particular games, it'd be very hard for them to pull this kind of shit. And I'm not even talking about the losses to unranked teams. But that being said, guys, I want to just welcome you to Stallion Speaks. Again, we're going to be fired up this Sunday night. We're going to be talking about all sorts of things. But before I bring on my co-host, I just want to also thank that the 100 episodes that Rebels with a Cause happened, and the Rebels with a Cause channel, over 128 subscribers, over 19,000 views. It's because of you guys. So keep punching that like and subscribe button, and we'll keep giving you awesome content and more shows on this channel that will appeal to a broad audience. But that being said, I also want to just say that the views and opinions of this program are not affiliated with those of any other organization. These are solely the Italian Stallion's views, as well as his guest co-hosts and the audience members that I bring on here. And as I mentioned, I will be bringing on a few of you, and I will be making sure to get you on. So get that chat box hopping. Get the show link on to voice your opinions. We'll give you all a few minutes to talk about what you want to talk about, and we'll go from there. But that being said, I would like everybody to give my guy, my co host, the love he deserves, because let me just tell you this, he is my brother, been doing this for like 8 years, us talking off camera. And we thought, why don't we just bring it on camera? Because we know what's going on. And we've seen a lot of shit happen over these last 8 years, and nothing will actually surprises us anymore. In fact, it's baffling that it even has taken this long sometimes to transpire. But that being said, let's bring him on, the one, the only, the great Larry Frank Jr. How you doing, baby?
What's up, my brother? How you doing? I'm trying to get everything shared. We got problems with the app. The app's not working, so I'm just individually pushing the link out.
Oh, no problem, man. You do your thing. And by the way, every time that we hear a good point by either one of us or one of our guests in the chat box, or if they have the guts to come on and speak their piece, this is what they get heard. That's what I like to hear right there. The stallion call right there. So, yeah, absolutely. And who better than to bring it than the one and the only. Thank you, dear. I appreciate that. So, but anyway, yeah. So, again, if you hadn't seen that clip from this hunter, I don't know who he is. He's the AD of Arkansas. And Larry, right off the bat, what the hell is this that you can put people on the playoff committee mid-season and make it up as you go? I mean, it's like, newsflash, why don't you have the people that you've entrusted in this for this season? And if somebody needs to be replaced or can't do their duty anymore, then you can vote on individuals who are worthy to join this. But they're just adding people, and it is definitely affecting the college football playoff rankings. I mean, I'm just at a loss for words, brother, but how are you doing this Sunday evening? As always, speak your piece, brother.
I'm doing great, man. I got an abbreviated work week. I've only got 3 days I got to put in, and then
Nice.
off on Thursday and Friday, and then I schedule my vacation for the following week. So after I get out of there Wednesday, I got 9 days of rest and relaxation. So I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great.
Yep. Well, I'm going to do something different this week. I'm going to put the college football storylines down in the ticker. The head-to-head
Mhm.
apparently does not matter to this committee. Is there even a worthy group of five school for a spot in the college football playoff? There's still no Heisman frontrunner, and I didn't put it on here because it wasn't even worth even typing it out. But
Right.
Mike Norvell got a vote of confidence by Florida State for one more year. That is
Hey,
Christmas came
awesome.
early for Canes fans
Awesome.
right there.
Awesome.
So,
Yes.
yeah. Yep, absolutely. So we'll get to see his ugly face in Hard Rock Stadium next October or whenever they decide to have us play that game. But that
Absolutely.
being said, though, Larry, I mean, what an absolute buffoon to say that their losses are better than our losses. I mean, last I checked, a loss is a loss, man. I mean, that only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades if you want to give participation trophies out, brother.
Shouts out to Joseph Bernard, man, chiming in. It goes back to what AO said this morning on YouTube. The reason why they're hyping up bad losses is because Notre Dame doesn't have any good wins because their schedule is so weak. And go back to when Miami lost to Louisville. Louisville, if I recall, was 4-1 at the time. They
Mm-hmm.
should have been a top 25 team.
They should have. They
And
should
if
have.
Miami loses that game to a ranked Louisville, one can make a case that SMU should have been ranked as well. If our two losses would have been to ranked teams versus the two ranked teams that Notre Dame lost to, which was us and a 16th ranked Texas A&M at the time, then it makes a better case to weigh the head-to-head because now both Miami and Notre Dame has two losses against ranked teams. So you have to, the ultimate de facto slicing factor here is the head-to-head. This guy is not going to use the head-to-head. Like I said on You Talk, like we all talked in our group chat. It took Reese Davis having to draw it out and ask him. Notice when he went on, I watched it the other night, as we all did. When this guy comes on and starts talking, he immediately went to the losses. He went to hyping the losses and trying to make it like Notre Dame has better losses. No loss is good.
Mm-mm.
You can't say that any loss is good. Just because the teams you lost to were ranked, get out of here. No loss is good. So he was not going to mention anything about head to head until Reese Davis asked him. So when you have a scenario like that where that idiot, that Jed Clampett looking motherfucker is going to get up here and say what he said out the gate, all that tells me is there's an agenda to try to keep Miami down as far as they can. You saw it after we lost to Louisville. They fell from 2 to 10. They fell 8 spots, and they didn't even get the full clean 10 spot. They had to split it with BYU, 10A and 10B. And then after SMU, exactly, wins don't count. And then after SMU, what happens? When the initial playoff rankings comes out, and I know the AP and the college football rankings don't count the same, but after SMU, after that loss, we debut at number 18?
Mm-hmm.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
And then when they realize that they ranked Miami too low, they bump us up to 15 the second week, and then they bring us up to 13.
Mm-hmm.
But you only brought us up to 13 because it would have been hard-pressed to make a case. And I still say it should have been Georgia Tech because at the time they were the best ACC team at the time because they had one loss.
That's right.
Put them in the rightful place as the presumptive ACC champion since Reese Davis, he said it. And I'm glad he said it because the way that they've ranked it, you just caused chaos amongst the Miami fan base. Because the Miami fan base, not knowing how this is set up, they think Miami really was 13 and right there in line to get a playoff bid. No, the 13th ranking was an illustration for the highest ACC team. And as Reese Davis said it rightfully so, Miami was a placeholder at 13 for whoever the ACC champion is. The ACC champion is going to get the 13 spot. The highest group of 4 champion is going to get the 12 spot. As of right now, that's Tulane. If they win the American, they're going to get the 12 spot.
Yep. It's unbelievable. I mean, I can even throw this out there, Larry. I think that what's even more alarming more than anything is that look at Miami's losses. It's not like they were blown out or anything like that. I mean, they're a combined 9 points is the difference. They lost by a field goal to Louisville, and they lost by 6 in overtime on the road to SMU.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what sucks is SMU probably would have been ranked had they not looked horrible against Wake Forest. And I also think that game in particular cost Miami because I think that if SMU had won that game, maybe Miami would have taken SMU a little bit more seriously. I think. I mean, again, you should take every opponent ready to go, and you should want to just absolutely destroy them. And we've already beaten this team down enough. They know that they left it on the table. Our head coach knows that he left it on the table, and I don't know why he had to learn that lesson for the 3rd straight damn year after being a coach for so long. But this isn't even about him tonight. What this is about is what's fair is fair, and why don't we just make sure that the best of the best are playing in this college football playoff? Just to go off subject, this drama with Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss going into this, basically – it looks like this is a done deal. He's just going to get through the Egg Bowl. And, of course, come Saturday, there's probably going to be an announcement that he is going to be the LSU coach. And don't be surprised if he goes on game day that morning. You know what I mean? And does like that interview. But what the point I'm trying to make, though, is that this morning, Heather Dinich and her infinite wisdom said that this is nowhere near the situation of, well, let me put it this way. She said that this is kind of like the Jordan Travis situation where if you lose your coach, but Florida State was left out because there were only 4 playoff teams. She felt that Ole Miss would only drop a couple spots, but would be firmly in the playoffs because there's 12 teams.
Right.
Based on what, Larry? Because they're 10-2? I mean, no offense to who their interim coach would be, but it wouldn't be Lane. And there could be a possibility that Lane may even take a couple of those assistants with him as he comprises the best staff with what 90 million is going to get him pretty much. So a lot how he even wants. He's even got a $25 million roster
Talent
budget
pool. Yep.
at this point.
Yep.
So of course he's not going to pass that up. And the fact of the matter is that, yeah, I mean, you'll get an Ole Miss team that is 10-2, but you're not going to get the full body of the Ole Miss 10-2. You know, that's just not what you're going to get. Now,
Right.
if he stays, then sure, leave him in there.
Yeah.
But my point is that right now, Tulane has a win over Duke, an ACC opponent that's still in the mix in this craziness that is the ACC conference. Number two, you also have a Tulane team, though, that got, you know, their asses kicked by an Ole Miss already when they played.
Yes.
And so, no offense to them, nobody really wants to see a sequel to that matchup or them playing an Oklahoma team, or, you know, they just don't want to see that. Navy, who has a big game against Memphis this Thursday, or I guess did it already happen? I don't know. It's coming up. But either way, if Memphis beats Navy, which I think they will, then that really affects Notre Dame's one of their best wins, actually, if you think about it. And like you mentioned already, USC, which is their best win, got beaten very soundly by an Oregon team who is practically depleted. I don't care where the game is. And I will tell you this, Oregon better watch out for Washington and that rivalry game this Saturday in Washington, because it would just be so like the Huskies to pull one out. I'm not saying it'll happen, but it could happen in a rivalry game. That's why they call this rivalry weekend. So things are not set, but I'm going to be very intrigued of what's going to happen. The AP already pulled a fast one on us today.
Yeah, jumping Vanderbilt over
They
Miami.
jumped Vanderbilt over us. Now, that's fine. That's fine. But at the same time, my question is right now, Vanderbilt, and I'm wondering about this. Vanderbilt did have a big win over Virginia Tech before they fired their coach. In fact, their win over that coach pretty much prompted the firing to take place.
Yeah.
And again, I knew how good Vanderbilt was going to be. I guess the rest of the country did not know how they were going to be. But I'm wondering if the pollsters and the committee, again, don't want to be conspiracy. We've said that. But there is always some truth to some things. But did they compare the margin of victory that Vanderbilt put on Virginia Tech earlier in the year to where Miami put a victory over Virginia Tech yesterday?
If they did, then why do we play the game?
Correct.
What's the point of playing the game if now you're going to go weeks back, months back, comparing what this team who's close to you in proximity and ranking did versus what you did to a common opponent 2 months later? If this is what they did, and if this is how it's going to go, then, you know, you're going to ruin college football. You're going to ruin it because there's too much bullshit going on with this damn committee. Let me tell you something. I'm going to take it back. I see Rocky in the chat. He said it this morning. I'm going to reiterate what Rocky said. What's up, Chris Kane? Once again, Joseph Bernard. There's been bullshit with picking teams that play for a national championship all the way back to the AP. There's always been controversy. And then in comes the BCS. What did they say? The BCS was going to be the solution to that because the computers were going to determine the best teams in the country, right? Well, ironically, Miami got fucked that year because after a season opening loss to Washington, what happened? Run the table. You beat Florida State, but then you put Florida State in the national championship game. I believe it was Oklahoma with Jason White that year.
No, it was actually Heupel. Heupel was the quarterback.
Josh Heupel was quarterback. Okay, all right.
Yep.
So the computers left Miami out in 2000. All right. So the BCS, the SEC bias comes in. SEC starts getting teams in the BCS championship every single freaking year. And then when you get to 2012, 2013 or whatever, now you have a playoff system implemented. When you have that happen, what happens? Now they go to favoring the SEC to try to get more SEC teams in line to get a playoff spot.
Mm-hmm.
And it just behooves me that every time you come up with a system that you say is fair or more fair than the previous system, you finagle a way to get the SEC in and the Big Ten as well. I'm not going to leave them out of here either. They are not without, criticism here. They're the left butt cheek, and the SEC is the right butt cheek of the ass that the NCAA is kissing.
Mm-hmm.
And for whatever reason, you have to implement and screw up the system that you put in that's supposed to improve on your previous system. So now what was the big argument with the previous BCS? Well, 4 teams isn't enough. We need more. So now they go to a 12 team. And what did they say? The 12 team playoff was going to be more fair, and it was going to really decide the best 12 teams in college football, and they would settle it on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Stallion, I have to push back on that. You know why? I don't give a fuck what anybody says. No disrespect. The group of 4 teams is never going to be one of the best 12 teams in America because they just cannot compete. And a group of 4 team will never win a national championship. Why the fuck are they being in there?
Correct.
You've got an at-large team that last year, we'll use last year, for example. Who was the group of 4 representatives last year? I don't even know.
It was Boise State because they were undefeated. They were technically
Genty.
undefeated, Ashton Genty.
All right,
so
all
that
right.
was a special provision. There should almost be, you have to be in the top 12 to qualify for that. But if you're not in the top 12, no, sir.
You shouldn't
not this
be
year.
in it.
Not this
Now,
year.
I will ask you this, and I will ask this to everybody in the chat. Please put your answers in the link.
Yep.
Who would you have rather seen get that last spot? Boy, and listen, I love what Ashton Genty did at Boise State. He was real great. He was great for college football last year. But would you have rather seen Boise State with Ashton Genty last year? And I'm not being a homer, but I'm just going to be honest. Or Cam motherfucking Ward with Miami last year?
I mean, it's a no-brainer. Cam
It
Ward
goes without saying.
TV.
It's must-see TV. Give me Cam. Even if you didn't want to put, if you felt like Alabama was the better team, okay, I'll swing it that way. Would you rather see Boise? Or would you rather see Alabama?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And then what Rocky just said, either Alabama or Miami. Hell, even if Colorado would have had a dog in the fight. South Carolina had a dog in the fight. When it's all said and done, a Power 5 team that has 9 to 10 wins is always going to be a better selection than a group of 4, as they call it now, putting them in via the participation trophy mindset. The system is flawed because you're putting a team in that really can't compete and doesn't deserve to be in with the big boys of college football. And by the same token, you're putting multiple SEC teams in there. Myself and Joseph Bernard, we had a great conversation the other day. We were talking about how bullshit these rankings are. And this is what I told him. This is what we talked about the other day.
Yep. And he even put this up there, but go ahead, Larry. Keep going.
Yeah. And then that's what we talked about. It actually got on with it, that point right there. That's what we talked about. But the other day when we were talking, this is what came out. If you want to use a coach's poll in the first month of the season just to for the media purposes of televising these games and hyping up these games, by all means do it. But these preseason polls by the AP need to be scrapped because the first month of the season, September, you don't know who's who. Go back, like I told JB the other day, go back and look at the top 10 this year coming into week 1. You had Texas number 1. You had Penn State number 2. You had Notre Dame, who was a top 5 team. You had Clemson, who was a top 10 team. You had LSU, who was a top 10 team. That's 5 teams in the top 10 that all are mediocre or less. I can even expand it. You had Florida that was in the top 25. You saw what happened to them. You had South Florida that was in the top 25. You saw what happened to them.
Kansas State.
K-State was in the top 25. You saw what happened to them. I mean, it's pointless to have you, but you know why they have it? As myself and Joseph Bernard was saying, you got these preseason rankings because you want to be able to start positioning certain teams because you know during the season they're going to play each other and they're going to knock each other off. So if you got them ranked a little bit too high, when they suffer 2 or 3 losses, if they're still down there, you can make a case for them, a la Texas. If Texas beats Texas A&M next week, I promise you, they're going to find a way to bump them and put them in the playoffs because of that little piece of shit with the last name as his uncle's.
Well, and I'm going to tell you this, Larry, it already kind of started with their big win over Arkansas, big bad Arkansas last week. By the way, that was another Notre Dame opponent, just to let you know. And I think Texas kind of beat them by the same margin, to be honest with you. A Fox guy actually revealed his poll today for the AP ballot. He actually had Texas at 10, Miami at 11, and he actually had Notre Dame at 15, if you can believe that. That's how he had it ranked. And he just basically said that that Texas and he believes that Texas will beat A&M to give him that spot. If he was doing his rankings, that's how he would do it, and so forth. So honestly,
and obviously with his rankings, he gave Miami the nod over Notre Dame because of the head-to-head, and rightfully so, as it should.
He did, and he firmly believed in his ballot that basically Miami should be the ACC representative no matter what at this point. Honestly, I mean that's what he said. The hell with the conference championship, but if he was ranking who the 12 best of he would like to see is that. Now you're right, the Manning name is going to make it effect, and here's the other thing too. Texas also gets the benefit because they beat Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's two losses are Alabama and Texas, albeit close. But here's the truth of it, though. The big elephant in the room that nobody's even mentioned is the fact that Alabama has a loss to a terrible Florida State team that has to go into the swamp on Saturday. Florida's the walking dead. They just got their asses handed to them by Tennessee. Yeah. So I expect Florida State to win and get into a bowl game.
Yeah, get bowl out.
But let's just say, for shits and giggles, Florida wins one for the Gippers and sends the seniors out with a win. Florida State doesn't make a bowl game for the second straight year. You cannot count that as a good loss for Alabama. In fact, you would almost need Alabama, in my opinion, to win the SEC title game, provided they can get by the Iron Bowl this Saturday, because that's not going to be a gimme.
That's not a gimme.
That's not a gimme. And realistically, why the hell should they get in to the college football playoff if, say, A&M wins by 10 or 15 points in that game, should that game be played in Atlanta in a couple weeks, if everything works out the way it's supposed to? I'm just saying right now that last year was just an abomination that SMU got to get in because they had been the regular season champ, but when it went head-to-head, Clemson won that game, and they both got in, and that took Alabama out. Miami was already out, but but the fact is that this is not a participation thing. The winner gets to go in. You know, the loser, I mean, what, were you going to put Iowa in? No, you weren't, because they were shit, you know? I mean, Indiana, my question is this, Larry, when Indiana and Ohio State throw down in 2 weeks in Indianapolis, and I expect Ohio State to win that game pretty handily, then where position does Indiana go? Do they still get a bye because that's their only loss? Or are you going to put them to be a host like 7 or 6 or 7 or whatever?
Yeah, they're gonna put them. They're gonna have them hosting the game in Bloomington. But I'm gonna take it one step further because I'm gonna call the bluff of this damn committee. This committee is talking about how Notre Dame is playing good football at the right time, right? All right. Well, if Notre Dame is playing good football at the right time, and let's just say that Alabama shits the bed next week in Auburn, okay? That means Alabama will have lost 2 games in the last 3 weeks of the season, but you're still going to put them in. So if Notre Dame is winning at the right time and that gives them a pass to get in, then why the fuck is Alabama getting in at 9-3 when they've lost 2 of their last 3? It's the same time frame as Notre Dame, who's been on this run. You can't have it both ways, committee. But you see, that's the hypocrisy of the college football committee. And this is what I wish somebody at ESPN, but I guess they won't ask that type of question because that's probably your job because you're calling them out on their bullshit directly. But this is the shit that needs to come out. They're full of shit.
They are. I mean, yeah, crazy to have a Power 5 conference and only let one team in from the ACC. Yeah, I mean, you know, that's the other thing, too. Yesterday, guys, if anybody was watching the Big 12 games, and it's a shame that Kansas State couldn't get it done. But I'm going to tell you this. The Big 12 refs were already on the take, man. They were given their marching orders. I saw so many calls against Cincinnati, and they were the home team, guys. Yep. Sound familiar? There was no way that the Big 12 was going to allow that they don't maybe have 2 teams get in there, either BYU or Utah. They were not going to allow that. And the thing is we've already seen BYU take on Texas Tech and get absolutely destroyed on live TV. That's going to happen again when they play at noon in a couple weeks. Okay, the only difference is it's going to be in Jerry's Palace. That's the only difference. It's not going to be in Lubbock this time.
Right.
But my question is that, do we really want to see that shit? We saw that last year. We saw Indiana get absolutely destroyed by Notre Dame. We saw Penn State run SMU off the field. We saw Clemson at home get absolutely annihilated by, by Texas. And last but not least, we saw Ohio State, just own Tennessee. That game was over in the first quarter. So my question is that I want the best of the best to go against it. And has Miami been perfect? My argument this morning, no. Okay, they have not. But
what team has, other than Ohio State and Indiana?
And the truth is, Indiana was very lucky to win that Penn State game, and Ohio State, here's the thing. It's not like they blew that Texas team out. And I know that they were still getting some things in order and Julian Sands doing his thing. But I want to see how an Ohio State fares against an Oklahoma or against a Georgia, if that's who they get matched up with, provided where everybody's ranked. Hell, I'd like to see how we match up with them. I know that we're going to be matched up with probably another game with Notre Dame going to South Bend, or probably the storyline of going to Oregon and Autzen. So Mario goes back to Autzen.
Yeah,
that could be the story.
You're going to have a storyline if Miami gets in one way or the other, because you got to have Notre Dame, because obviously the season started this year with Notre Dame. The controversy in the playoff is centered between Miami and Notre Dame. What better way than to end the season with a rematch against Notre Dame, especially when the first game of next season is in South Bend against Notre Dame, and it's a historical rivalry. It keeps the narrative going. It gives Notre Dame an opportunity to right their wrong. Who knows? If they get in, maybe that's what we get. But as of right now, we got to hope some dominoes falls in our favor. Now, I'll say this. If Miami takes care of their business, take care of Pitt, which I think they have a good shot. The only way Miami loses this Pitt game is if the coaches don't scheme and call this game right. Miami should win this game. They should. So let's just play devil's advocate. If they win this game, and as I said this morning, you have three scenarios with these other teams. One of them, Virginia has to lose to Virginia Tech. That's extremely possible. It's a rivalry game, last game of the season, no bowl for Virginia Tech. And listen, they got an offense that can cause fits, I think. I don't think Virginia's defense is as good as Miami's defense, so they might give them some problems. You never know. That game is very much possible.
And Wake Forest just beat Virginia at Virginia, honestly.
At Virginia, yes.
So it's possible.
That's one that you can get. Now, SMU Cal, Cal just fired their coach, I read, so I don't think that.
So Tedford's gone now. So
yeah. After a 5-2 start, he lost like his last 3 or 4, whatever in a row they canned him. Now, interim coaches usually provide a spark. It's a long shot, but once again, I don't see it happening. And then in the other situation, obviously Duke, they have
Wake Forest.
Yeah. Which I honestly believe Wake Forest can beat now.
Oh, they should. They should. I mean, Duke had to use a trick play to beat a bad North Carolina team yesterday. I mean, and granted, the game was in Chapel Hill. It's a rivalry game. I mean, I know they're more basketball rivals, but it's a big deal in all the sports there. But my thing is they needed a trick play to beat that trash of a North Carolina team. That's not a good Duke team.
It's not.
I don't know if they're depleted. I'm not trying to hate on Manny or anything like that, but it's like, how were they even in this conversation when they lost to a terrible Connecticut team? I know that's an out-of-conference game, but they have lost all their out-of-conference games. Larry, they lost to Illinois, who ran off the field at Camp Randall in Wisconsin on Saturday. And realistically, had USC pulled the miracle in Autzen, USC's best, would you have counted that Illinois loss as still a good loss that just ran off the field by damn Indiana and Illinois? It's just like, you can't fit the narrative to make you sleep better at night, Hunter. I mean, goodness gracious. And it's just insane that not once is the Florida State loss mentioned with big bad Alabama.
It won't be. It will not be. That's the thing. All of these teams that have lost to these bad teams, you're not hearing anything about it. And it just doesn't hide the fact that there is a case being made to get all of these teams in, because for whatever reason, they want to have a playoff field where you have 12 teams, but 8 to 9 of them are from the two power conferences, the two big conferences.
I'm going to do in the ticker right now, the CFP, it's not updated with records. This is what was on Tuesday when they talked about this. You know, A&M, the records, like I said, have not been updated. But right now, if you look at going from 8 on, okay, you've got 8-2 Oklahoma, you've got 8-2 Notre Dame, you've got 8-2 Alabama, you've got a 9-1 BYU, you've got an 8-2 Utah, you've got a Miami 8-2, you've got a Vanderbilt 8-2. USC is no longer that. Georgia Tech is now 9-2. Bad loss. Texas is 8-3. Michigan has jumped up there now, 9-2. Michigan at 15, just to give Ohio State another win, another big thing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And lo and behold, if Michigan somehow pulls another upset, you watch them jump up there.
But here's the thing: would it really be an upset? Because it would be 5 in a row.
It would be, correct.
And if it happens, guess what? Ohio State's going to be fine, but Michigan is going to leapfrog Miami, and that's going to knock Miami out. So Miami's only path at this point is to handle their business, beat Pitt, and hope that 2 of those other 3 scenarios can fit. If that doesn't happen, I hate to say it, it really doesn't matter. If any one of those teams that we need to lose, if they all wind up winning and Miami doesn't qualify, just get ready to hear whatever bowl game they're going to be playing, and get ready to see who's opting out and who's not playing, and what scraps we got. And hey, on to 2026.
Yeah, pretty much. And and it kind of goes back to, Larry, the narrative that we stated in chat box. I'm about to post a link now for anybody that wants to come on and share their opinions. And of course, I want to get other people on and so forth. So I'll give you some time to speak and everything. But more than anything, I just want everybody to just be, speak your piece. Honestly, this is what this forum is all about. You can talk about the rankings. We can talk about yesterday's game. I mean, for example, let's not let ESPN off the hook. And everybody's ran with it, honestly, to be absolutely honest with you, because truth be told, I mean, here's what it was. If you watched that game from start to finish, in no way was Miami ever down. Miami was up. They were never under a 90% to not win the game. And the final score was 34-17. Virginia Tech, to get to the 17, had to go on a trick play on the punt. Now, that is on Mario and the special teams that they should have been looking for or what have you, and they should have maybe had punt safe. But the other thing, too, is that Virginia Tech was running the ball like crazy. They didn't want Miami to score. They knew Miami could score at will. So they were trying to shorten the game. And realistically, we should have been a little bit better in terms of just taking advantage of it. Lo and behold, Larry, we had an opportunity to get a touchdown right before halftime. You go up instead of 20-3, you could be up 24-3.
Correct.
And realistically, you had to settle for a field goal.
Right.
That is what's irked me about this team, is that we don't get the damn touchdown right inside the 5. Red zone is 20-yard line and in. If your drive stalls at the 17, fine. But with the money and everything that we've put in, where I have felt this program has not taken that step forward, is that we should be able to bull motherfuckers over to get that touchdown when you're inside the 5.
Let me ask you this. I want to take you back to week 1. I'm going to take you back to week 1, and we're going to just zoom all the way through the season. All right. Yeah, Joseph Bernard, they were there. They were actually at the game.
Yeah, they were.
If Miami in week 1, after they got out to that big start against Notre Dame, if they finish the job and blow them out as they were on pace to do, and fast forward, they were dominating Florida. They didn't blow them out like they should have. They let Florida come back in the game. They were dominating Florida State, wound up being a close margin of victory. In between those games, they dominated Bethune and they dominated South Florida.
Yep.
So if they start 5-0 with 5 convincing domination, 3 to 4 touchdown margin victories, where do they sit?
They're number 1.
They're
number one.
They jump Ohio State. They're number 1.
Yes.
Now, let's get to the second phase. They beat Louisville, dominate. They go ahead and do as they did, dominate Stanford. They beat SMU. Dominate. Well, I ain't gonna even say dominate because SMU would have been considered a formidable opponent. But let's just say, even if it was a close victory, they still win. They go on to beat NC State and dominate them and dominate Syracuse as they did. Where would Miami be after those games?
Still number one.
Still number one, right?
Yep.
And then let's say yesterday's game happened as it did, 34-17. Let's say, okay, you got some injuries and rivalry game, historically rivalry. Where would Miami be right now if all of that happened?
Still number one.
Number one.
Yep.
Number one and waiting, literally. It's almost like the Joe Burrow championship pick where he had his legs crossed, smoking on a cigar, just puff, waiting, right?
Yep.
Finish business against Pitt, and guess what? You are the undisputed number one seed going into conference championship weekend. All you got to do is win the ACC. You're going to be number one, right? And with that, you get a first round bye. In the second round, you're hosting the game in the Orange Bowl. I forgot the site of the national semifinal, but you'd have to go to wherever for that. But then the national championship is back in the Orange Bowl. Do you know how fucking sick I am as a Miami fan to know that had they did what they were supposed to do, you could literally just have an easy path? You literally may have only needed to leave the state of Florida 4 times.
Yes.
This season.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. Joseph, you're right, man. You're right. We are having a conversation, and this is what I was afraid of more than anything. More than anything, this is what I was afraid of. You don't ever, you know what the new narrative is going to be, Larry? It's not so much leave it in the ref's hands. You got to almost leave it in your own hands. You know what I mean? Type of a thing. So, I am going to bring in some guys that I know are fired up. I love the passion. I'm going to bring each of them on, and I'm going to give them, and I want us all on and so forth. They're each going to get their piece. I'll mute mics or what have you and everything, but I'm going to bring you on one at a time. So without further ado, and I want to bring you on in style since I got all these cool new sound effects and so forth. So, and I want to show them off. But that being said, first and foremost, want to bring him on, and I'm bringing him on in the order that they came in. This guy's got so much passion as a Canes fan. Let me tell you something. You want to check his love for the Canes, you might end up with your tongue ripped out and 2 black eyes when he's done with you. But that being said, let's bring him on. He's a day one guy supporting Stallion Speaks. Here is our guy, the one, the only, Mr. Chris Kane. My brother, welcome to Stallion Speaks. Speak your piece.
And look, real quick, Chris, like I said, I got to apologize, bro. You came on too late this morning. We had to get out of there. We had time restraints, but always come in there early. And when you come in there early, you're like I talk with D, and me and D always say, bro, you get preference. You a day one, so you're getting in there.
You know what, Larry Frank, I appreciate that, but you know what? I had just got out of service, so I was just like, you know what? Let me see if they still on. It just so happened he was still on. I said, but they probably about to get ready to get out of there. But hey, I took my chance, and it's all good. You told me to come on the show.
Listen, God ain't want you getting on this morning. God knew what he was doing.
No.
Well, you can speak your piece here. Yeah. It's okay. So there you make up for it. So yeah, I mean, Chris. And hold on one second. I want you to just hold your train of thought. I'm going to bring on Rocky too, and I'm going to each give you a few minutes to talk and so forth, and we'll have this discussion. So without further ado, let's also give a nice welcome to another day one supporter. I always love what he has to bring. He brought it this morning, man. He was right after me, and man, he really brought up some great points. And I wasn't even paying attention to that Joey Galloway son of a bitch, but oh my God, I hope he talks about him tonight. I mean, what? You know what? Here's the truth of it. Joey Galloway's tampon is scared because he don't want Miami to play his precious Buckeyes because he knows we beat them this time. There's a hot take for you. Yeah. There's a hot take for you. But that being said, because it's not the little games you got to worry about with this team, it's the big games. It's the big games you don't have to worry about. It's the little teams that this team screws around with. Correct. But that being said, let's bring him on. Another round of applause for a day one guy, my rival, Rocky.
Oh, you got
What is
two
up, man?
cages
How
in
you
this one.
doing?
Italian Stallion. What's going on, man? How we doing tonight? LFJ,
Good.
Chris Kane. Good to see y'all.
Rocky.
Sir. Sir.
Absolutely. And like I said, we're going to have this discussion. We can talk about the game yesterday. We can talk about the trash refs. We can talk about this ridiculous buffoon Hunter, that Jed Clampett from Arkansas that gave the stupidest answer that's ever been told. Chris, you can go first, and then Rocky, and we'll swing it back around. What's your thoughts on all this, Chris? Whatever you want to talk about, speak your piece.
Chris, go ahead.
Well, I just put it to you like this, brother. I mean, what have we been saying ever since last season? Ever since spring training, spring camp, fall camp, the spring game. Do not leave the game to the refs. That's number one. Number two, and I don't even take this as a number two. I take this as a 1A and 1B. Win your game. Do not leave anything up to the committee because they're going to screw you over. What is going on now? We lost to SMU and lost to Louisville and with no Vaseline either, Larry. No Vaseline. Ain't none of this.
Nope.
Ain't none of this.
Yeah.
Nope.
Diddy ain't
None
there.
of it. You can't get nothing. You can't nothing. But we got to jump through hurdles and we got to pray for this one to win. So that one could lose because the one that we need to lose is the one that we couldn't beat.
Yep.
See what I'm saying?
Yep.
If anything, we should be 10-1 or 11-0. End of discussion.
Yep.
But because we had to go into this whole point of playing so damn scary and playing so damn safe and all of this, listen, 10-2 don't get into the play. I ain't even worrying about the ACC championship through that.
Mm-hmm.
The playoff. Because you can win the ACC championship and go nowhere. I'd rather go for the big prize.
Mm-hmm.
Swing big, miss big. One thing about real King fans, we ain't never been afraid of swinging.
That's true.
Get your ass in that playoff, and you better fight, claw. I don't care if you are number 12.
Amen, Chris.
You better beat everyone ass. I'm not talking about buying no 3 points, no 7 points, no 10 points. In these motherfuckers alive.
Mm-hmm.
Every single one of them. Because if you get to that dance and you do face Ohio State, you face Ohio State home.
Yes.
It's not a national championship game. It's a home game. We get to that dance. It's far-fetched, but it can happen. We got to get there first. But this right here, last year should have been a wake-up call.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have to keep repeating the same mistake of what we did last year, this year. Because the offense we had last year was phenomenal. Because who the general was.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
But I keep saying, if we would have had Heatherman last year,
we'd have had number
or
6.
if we or if we would have had Cam this year, we're in.
Mm-hmm.
Because Cam ain't going for that bullshit. Yeah. A lot of that crap that made Dawson look good, Cam changed it.
Yeah.
All that running up the middle. When was the last time you seen Cam run up the middle was when Dawson called him a place? Because I'm sure he called it. But Cam sees stuff that Dawson don't see. You see what I'm saying?
He probably
we had
audibled
a
out of
general.
that shit and threw a tight end corner route down there.
Right.
Yeah,
What's that?
The updated chances to reach it. Look what that says.
14%.
What did it say? 14?
Yeah.
Miami has a 14% chance, and look who
Yeah.
the top two are.
Virginia and SMU.
SMU comes
Okay.
out of nowhere to get the 86%.
Now, who could have stopped SMU?
Yep. Yep.
See what I'm saying?
Yep.
When you play with a target on your back, you play too lackadaisical in games that you're supposed to win. We were supposed to
Facts.
beat Louisville. We were supposed to beat SMU. We were supposed to blow Virginia Tech out the fucking water.
That's what
Won.
sound. Keep going. So, yep.
We won by 17 points. That shit in. If our sisters up north can put 40, what, 2.41 or 42 points on there, and they have nothing to play for, there shouldn't have been no excuse of why we only put 17 on their ass and we got everything to play for.
Yep.
See the difference? But I digress. We went out. Let's see what happens. As long as we take care of what we need to take care of, we'll be fine. Loserville already lost. And SMU left them to 6 points. 6 points. And them fuckers put 24 on them.
Mm-hmm.
And who's the better team with the better talent?
Miami on paper.
Oh, Miami head and shoulders. And the sad part
Head and
is
shoulder.
It's not even close.
it's not even
And
close.
it's
The
not-
bad part is Clemson and Florida State are no longer the big bad dogs of the ACC. Miami should be running this shit.
Yep.
Right? And you know what, Larry Frank? It's not even about the talent no more. It's not even about the talent. Coaching. Preparation.
Yep.
Game day management.
How about adjustments? Imagine that concept.
Or lack thereof.
Yep. I mean, yeah.
And yes, we all know about the calls and stuff that were not made for us. And we know the calls that should not have been for us that were made up. We get that. But that doesn't control the whole game.
That's right.
You have to go out there and do your own due diligence.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Why would you, for Carson Beck, as big as your eyes are, why in God's name would you make a pass over the middle for overtime play and get it intercepted when all you had to do was let the man run all the way over and he was wide open? You had him open and you had your man in the back open.
Yep.
Why would you go across the middle?
Look who he was going to.
Mm-hmm.
But you're doing a TVD 2.0 all over again. You
Yep.
got other receivers, bro.
Yeah,
Because Shannon Dawson's offense runs through the slot no matter who's there.
That's
You
right.
complained about Restrepo getting targeted. Tony's the same thing.
Yep.
Same.
And yes, Malachi,
Plays that same position.
and that's the problem. Malachi Tony is amazing. This has nothing to do with him. But
Absolutely.
you don't think for 1 second,
No,
please
no,
don't. I want everybody to understand something. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let it go and get Rocky to it. This is the last game that we got. Do us all a favor. Do all the real Kane fans a favor. Okay? When you go against Pitt, look at all the film that they've been on throughout this year. Okay? Do us all a favor. Stop watching film with a blindfold on.
Yeah. Yep.
You got it, Rocky.
Hey, real quick before I turn it over to Rocky, I'm going to argue something else even more. That's even more disturbing. How about this one? The fact that, and me and Larry were talking about this off camera before we started the show. The Louisville loss is actually now worse than the SMU. And I would have laughed in your face if you had told me that 3 weeks ago.
Right.
And here's the truth of it. You saw what SMU did to Louisville. And I'm going to tell you another thing. That Cal team that got absolutely their ass handed to them by Stanford in a rivalry game yesterday and got their coach fired, Thanks, Larry, for that one. I was traveling today, and I didn't even see that Tedford got let go, and as well he should have been. But my point is that Cal team even put 20-something points at Louisville and won in overtime.
Yeah.
That's how bad. And you had 2 weeks to get ready for that damn game.
That's right.
And you were banning Willis McGahee and all that shit. And
Yeah,
not
that's where the
that.
attention was that week on Willis McGahee. So in other words, was this toilet sitting, squinching, hemorrhoid having motherfucker, was he worried more about Willis McGahee than prepping the I'm sorry, Rock, go ahead.
No, Rocky, go ahead. But yeah, he was on podcast touting how great he was. He was the one listening to the rat poison. He was the rat poison. But go ahead, Rocky. Go ahead.
I had a chance to kind of reflect about this all day after their
I'm gonna mute my mic.
many shows and looking at the message boards, and we're all here as Canes fans, Canes Nation. It's about heads and hearts, right? Heads and hearts. We're here in our heads looking at the picture that we have in front of us. We're 9-2. We're having to talk about the college playoff committee. We're having to talk about the corruption in that system. We're having to deal with, whose wins are better than whose, or whose losses are better than whose. That's what we're doing in our heads because we're Canes fans, because we love the University of Miami. We love the orange and green. But I think, and I'm sitting with 3 real Canes right here, I think in our hearts, what we really believe is that we screwed the pooch and we just didn't get the job done. Yep. I know that's what I believe as a Canes fan in my heart.
Yeah.
Now, I want to see Miami in the playoffs as bad as anybody here. Okay. But if it comes down to it, even if we beat Pittsburgh next week and we don't get in, as frustrating as that is, and it's still a corrupt system, don't get me wrong. We get on that all night. But we didn't handle business, fellas.
We didn't. No.
We didn't handle business.
No. And you know what, Rocky? Can you hold your train of thought for something? Because you're onto something. I want you to hold your train of thought real quick. And I'm going to add something to that too. What really bothers me the most is the fact that these guys knew what was at stake, and they still let it happen. Keep going.
And you can't wait till you have an uproar from the fan base to start calling offense.
Yeah, it's unreal. It's fucking unreal.
Because that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, it's fucking
That's
unreal.
exactly what happened.
Yep.
The uproar led to the questioning in the room, in the conference room. That's why, I don't know if y'all watch the press conferences, but I do. Mm-hmm. That's why Dawson started getting testy with the media. He heard the noise. I guarantee you he heard the noise. And that's why these past few games you've been seeing, outside zone and jet sweeps. We didn't see any of that crap against SMU. We didn't see any of that crap against Louisville. We didn't see none of it.
Not even against Florida State. So you were in them games.
No, not none of them. So you had to wait.
I will say this real quick. The timing of when that first came out, and we were told that there is a PR guy. Well, every team has it. Every team has a guy that watches all of the podcasts and media. Every team has it. But Miami's PR guy watches every podcast, and we were told that You Talk is amongst one of the podcasts that is not one of Mario's favorite shows. This came to us, okay? Which we're okay with that because we don't pull no punches. Remember that episode? It was the day after the SMU game. No, it was the Louisville game, whichever one. I forgot. I can't remember. But when I was detailing and breaking down zone blocking and the A gap and the B gap, and I kind of gave a little lesson on blocking, offensive line play, and how this stuff goes. Funny how that press conference that Shannon Dawson had the next day, literally almost like he was watching You Talk. Because he's literally talking and explaining the shit. And I'm not trying to say he definitely was, but I'm just saying, I know what we've been told, that we've been the subject of conversation at times in that coaching room.
Yep.
I just find it ironic that the day after we had our discussion and breakdown on the lack of versatility offensively, and Shannon Dawson starts explaining, because I text Devin and I'm like, D, this motherfucker was watching You Talk yesterday, because this shit is really
He
Go ahead,
probably was. Probably was.
Stallion LJ. Shannon Dawson said on the press conference leading into this game versus Virginia Tech, these are the same plays that we've been running all spring, all off-season camp.
Bullshit.
Same plays. Now y'all got eyes,
Mm-hmm.
like I do. Come on, man.
Well, hey, what did you think about what he also said yesterday, that Carson Beck, since the SMU game, the light switch has come on, and he finally has got a grasp of this entire offense. He looked pretty damn good against Notre Dame last I checked.
He looked okay against FSU too.
He
Had
looked,
a pretty
he
damn
looked
good
pretty
game
good
in
against South
Tallahassee.
Florida. I mean,
that,
yeah.
Why would he say that at this point in the season, going into weeks 11 and 12? Like, that's some dumb shit. You know what, man?
Dimples.
Rocky, we just got it hard, man. These motherfuckers from Louisiana just makes it hard for us, man. It's like we got our real life former friend over here, man. I mean, it's this motherfucker here, man. Like, damn, man. First Gidry, now this motherfucker.
So guys, look here is a two-faceted thing going on, and we're in the middle of the hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
Because on one hand, we're going to have it's very, very possible, because I actually think we beat Pittsburgh this week.
Oh, we do.
We do that.
It won't even be close.
We do that, and we have a 10-2 football team.
Yep.
On one hand, me personally, I think it's getting shafted, because I think head-to-head, you can talk about gimmicks and metrics. We beat Notre Dame in the story. We beat them on the field.
Yeah.
Game over.
And they haven't beaten shit since. Keep going. Yeah, they haven't beaten shit since.
You got the system against us. And on the other hand, because we're true Canes in our hearts, we're burning up too, because we know that we screwed the pooch in Dallas, at least.
Right.
I ain't worried about the Louisville game. We had a bad game. You get one bad game. But that SMU loss was ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Well, can I also throw this out there? Chris, I want to bring up something you brought up just a few minutes ago before Rocky spoke. You brought up that you should have learned from this last year. And why didn't you learn from it last year? Because I'm going to tell you the truth of it. We already saw little crinks in that defense of Guidry's in North Carolina watching what's his name? The quarterback that's now for the Patriots. He absolutely diced us that day. May. Thank you, May. Yeah. I wanted to call him the brother that won for North Carolina, but I'm going to say May torched us. So there should have been a change right off the bat. And here's my other thing, too. You just got rid of the Burger King and the Charlie Strong show the year before that because of that fiasco. You had an open checkbook to get whatever defensive coordinator you got. And that was the best dude you could find. Somebody from Marshall? Honestly. Like, that's what you could find. And I'm just saying that it was apparent then. And the fact is, you were weak at the DB position. You finally shorted up this year, but here's the truth of it. A position that I have been severely disappointed in, and it started with the Louisville game, has to be the linebacking core. Has to be the linebacking core.
Oh yeah.
And the truth of the matter is what happened to the studs that we brought in Mario's big first full recruiting cycle? I know that Martavius Bryant's been hurt. They tried him at defensive end with his hand in the ground last year, but he's been hurt this year. Okay, fine. What about Bobby Washington? I mean, his brother's already transferred, and he's just sitting there ready to leave again. You convinced him not to leave, and he's about to leave again anyway. Why can't he get on the field? I'm just saying, again, you have screwed up with some of these evaluations of these recruits because these boys should be in the system, and they should be playing because you thought they would be the linebackers. People are still talking about Basaint. He didn't do that great yesterday. And you got a guy from Rutgers. I mean, we can do better than Rutgers, guy. I want a stud from maybe that's not getting some playing time at an Oklahoma or something like that I know can play some defense from a Venables or someone like that. That's what I want here. That's if you messed up with your evaluations, you got to be better with that. But again, I just wanted that addressed. But Rocky, Chris, Larry, here's my other question for you guys. That Louisville game, you were at home on a Friday night. I don't give a damn when that day was played. It could be on a Tuesday night for all I care, because maybe you had to move it before a hurricane came in, a real one. But why were you not prepared? Why was that guy better than you, but he got his ass absolutely handed to him by Big Bad Rat this past week. Or Jeff Tedford, who's no longer Cal's coach, went into Louisville and beat them in overtime, man. I mean, answer me that. Why can we not be the ones that enforce this shit? We always react, and Chris has said this before. Rocky, you've said this before. But we are never, prepared. We are always reacting and not being the ones that, run the shit. And I want the chat box to chime in on this. Anybody can go.
Go ahead, Chris. Unmute. All right.
I really don't know. I mean, it's like the same thing over and over. But see, the thing is, I think it's the reason being is like we're not prepared because you're worrying about a national championship player that has something to do with Nev Shapiro instead of worrying about the team and worrying about maybe the fact that he actually got something that he actually carried and actually helped get the national championship while you got carried. Maybe. That's number one. That's probably why you weren't prepared and you were so worried about Willis McGay, who has given everything to this team. Because last I checked, I didn't see your name in the raffle.
It's true.
Number two, when do you really prepare for big games? Okay. Number three, the reason why he got somebody from Marshall isn't because that's who he wanted. That's the ones that wanted the big jump, the ones that they knew that he could get because nobody wants to work with Mario.
There you go.
True too.
Yep, preach.
Yeah. You're not going to tell a Brett Venables what to do.
Yeah, that's true.
You're not going to tell any of these big time OCs what to do. You sure as hell ain't going to tell them.
Because Mario needs coordinates.
Right. He needs someone on those D-Rock. Someone who's looking for the big shot to come up to the big league, but also be the puppet master to their growth. You see what I'm saying? But my question to you is, how are you going to add to someone's growth when you don't even know what season playing? Because you're not an OC. You're not a DC. You do not recognize on one side of the ball, but you never call plays. You are a decorated offensive line coach with these.
Yeah.
One of these.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep. Yep.
The only reason why they gave you the position at FIU because FIU. Okay, you didn't have no real big gig at Alabama except for being an offensive line coach. And the reason why they gave you the job at Oregon is because you were a head coach at FIU. Turned them around.
And Pete Garcia. Right. Pete Garcia was the athletic director, and Mario was like, his clipboard holder because he was Butch's assistant back then. So my brother Eric Carroll from New York asked this one, when's the last time they've developed a group of players into their full potential? They've had some guys, but it's inconsistent at best. Facts, Eric. Facts. And I know you've been a lifelong Cane like us. So, yeah, for sure.
Let me ask you another question, guys on the panel. Excuse me. I've asked this about 2-3 years ago. But what's our identity? Does anybody know? Anybody?
I'm going to be funny when I say it. We have a brand that is a U, but we don't really know what that U stands for, of who built it, who bled, who broke legs, who tore ligaments and muscles for it. But they sure like to flash it, but they don't really understand what it means to represent it. But anybody else want to chime in? That's what I think our identity is.
Yeah. The U was a brotherhood for years. For years, it was a brotherhood, and it meant more than NIL. It meant more than it was about winning football games, winning football. It was about working hard. Any alumni, for LFJ, this. Any alumni will tell you, it was about picking your brother up. It's kind of like the SEALs, picking your brother up next to you and carrying him along when you might have felt weak, making him stronger, making the guy stronger next to you.
Yep.
It was about refusing to lose. It was about the heart of a champion. It was about nobody is going to step on this field. When you have a U helmet on, nobody's going to step on this field and overcome us. I don't care who it is across those sidelines. They come step on this field and they think they're going to beat us. We're going to kick their shit in twice.
Yep.
And that's what he
Now
used
they do this.
Now it's some choir boy shit. Mario wants to say, "Oh, we're moving forward," and we were crazy. Remember that he said that at one of the press conferences. We were crazy ass back then.
Hey, was that for Florida State?
Yeah, maybe you ought to go get some of that crazy back, Mario, because you know what? Those guys won games. They won games.
Yep.
And this whole nice bullshit. Oh my god.
My buddy Rocky, my buddy Eric and me, we always like to laugh when we're driving down the field and we're looking at the clock. We always go, "Yep, Mario wants that field goal," so he believes that our identity is field goals. By the way,
look what we did. Look what we did at Virginia Tech. You know, and I'm going to go back to the point I made this morning. Marcus Freeman knew it was on the line. That's why he beat Syracuse 70-0.
Yeah.
We get the ball back. I think it was. I don't remember how it was. How it was off a turnover. Look what we do: 3 jet sweeps, 2 run out the middle. Before we finally get to 4th down and somebody calls on Mario's headset, "Hey, Mario, we need to score another touchdown because we need to look good because this is the situation we're in, right? We got to get a bigger win." So they finally throw the ball to Malachi Tony. But if you go back and you look at that game for Virginia Tech, it's the same premise. You get up a couple of scores. It was 20-3 going into halftime. And then there's this lull. Where you're trying to run the clock out.
Or let them run the clock out. And
you've seen the same pattern all year long, with this team.
Yeah.
And that's not Miami Hurricane football, fellas.
It's not.
Nowhere even close.
And can I throw something out about that Notre Dame Syracuse game real quick? Because I've been dying to do this.
Football.
It is. And I'm going to tell you this. One more thing about that Notre Dame Syracuse game that was just a disgrace to college football. Any Syracuse alum or anything like that, if they even care about it, should be ashamed of themselves of what happened in that game. Because I can honestly argue that Marcus Freeman and Notre Dame threw Fran Brown 3 Notre Dame co-eds Friday night because he certainly didn't show up to coach. I've never seen somebody bend over more to hurt Miami than Fran Brown did yesterday. Keep going.
Well, look, you want to pour more salt in the wound?
Go for it.
We have the talent to be that kind of team.
Yep.
That hurts even more because it's there.
Yep.
One thing I'll give Mario, hang on, Chris. One thing I'll give Mario, the talent is there, Chris.
Yep.
You're gonna tell me our team doesn't have talent, but when I see an offensive system that goes into a huddle and lets the play clock run down to 5, when we're up big every single time, and then runs the ball up the middle, and then slowly, come back to the huddle and lets it run down to 5 again, and then we run the ball again, and then maybe a throw to Malachi, and then all come back to it's the same thing. We talked about it on the message board. We were typing during the second half. Looking great. Carson Beck's playing great. Malachi Tony's a stud. But why are you guys so slow? Go faster. Just pick up the pace a little bit. Because we all know as fans, we got a college playoff football committee that we got to impress. We did that because we screwed the pooch in Dallas. Don't like that, but that's how it is. And it's like we're all typing. It's like they don't even care. Because the mindset and the philosophy is we're up, now let's run the clock out. That's the mind. That's like the mindset. That's the philosophy of the team, and it drives you nuts.
Safe. Let's play it safe. But here's the problem, though. You know what, Rocky? You're absolutely right about the talent. What about the coaching?
You don't have a coach. You want to know the truth? You want me to give you the unadulterated truth? This guy right here, this guy is a social media influencer. That's what he is to me. He's a freaking content creator. Because what he does is he entertains. He has the massive fans. They believe, they love, they're entertained by what he does because it looks nice. He's, to me, nothing more than a DC young fly. That's all he is. That's all he is. He sucks you in. He makes you think that he's more than what he is. Truth be told, he's not. The recruiting, you take away the recruiting, and what do you have? What do you have?
A buffoon with a headset and lots of
That's
money.
it. That's it. Y'all were talking about the culture and the identity. Miami don't have a culture and identity. It's like Rocky said. It's nice boy shit. Damn all this nice boy shit. And what gets me was he wasn't nice at Oregon. He was digging an ass in Oregon. He comes from a team in an era where he wasn't nice. He didn't play on nice teams. He didn't have nice teammates.
Yep.
But guess what? I'd be pretty damn nice too if I was making $9 million a year and I'm selling you a wolf card on recruiting and stuff like that. And everybody's happy. And then here's the thing. Check the fan base. Y'all are in these groups. Y'all, James, you see the same shit that I be posting in that damn group. Chris, you're in that group too.
Yep.
Whenever you put something that's objective, what do? What do they say?
They say we ain't real fans.
Well, but beyond that, here's the thing that gets me. Well, Mario has us in a position we haven't been in 20 years. It feels good to be in position. When was the last time we were even in contention?
So what position would that be? Bent over, taking it in?
They're happy. They're happy to be in the conversation. And it's because the expectations have been dumbed down. I put a post up yesterday. Rocky, I put a post up yesterday. I said, I want to know where the real Canes fans that want championships and aren't just happy with 10-2 because it looks good on the record, for the stat sheet.
I'm going to throw this one out there, guys.
I would have commented on that.
I'm going to throw this one out there, guys. What about poor Mark Richt? I mean, we didn't even get the real Mark Richt that came here, and he did more with less. He didn't have all this money. He didn't get transfers. He inherited what he inherited, and he, with Malik Rozier at quarterback, almost had us on the cusp. We were depleted going into that pick game. We still shouldn't have lost it. But
two things messed that up. Two things. One, Mark Richt that started getting sick, and two, he wouldn't let his son stop being the quarterback's coach. If he'd have had a better quarterback coach and a developer, and he wouldn't have got sick, I really believe Miami would have taken off. You've seen Florida State decline. You've seen Clemson decline. Miami would have ascended, and we wouldn't be having this discussion.
And get ready, fellas, because the stage, just like you said, LFJ, the stage is being set again. Why?
Saw it yesterday. James Franklin.
Look, hey, 10-2. We're 20-4 the past 2 seasons.
Yes.
Good enough, right, Chris Kane? Hey, that's good enough, man. We are 10-2, baby.
Ain't good enough.
Hell with that.
Yeah.
The hell with
because this is what Kyle Stallion said right here. He said, I like Mario. Who we going to replace him with? Which coach coming here with relationships with money that we get? I like the comment he put up there before. He said our head coach and OC don't have that dog mentality. See, we're getting away from that. We want to be a corporation. We want to be Miami, the University of Miami Incorporated. Okay, we want to be the nice white collars and all of this other kind of stuff. We want to be over there shaking hands, kissing babies, and all that kind of stuff. That's not what we are.
So we want to be Penn State. We want to be Penn State without the showers. That's what we want to be.
Let me show you something.
I called it on the message board during the game. I said Mario's turned us into Michigan.
Yeah,
he's turned us into Michigan.
Well, and one could argue that that's why he asked for a 10-year contract, because it took Harbaugh 10 years. I mean, I think Harbaugh could have done it in 5 if they had the NIL transfer thing back then when he took over. Because you got to think they were in shambles when they took over. When he took over, he just inherited it from that Fred Flintstone-looking motherfucker up there, or whatever, like that. I forget his name, but he was a buffoon. He looked like Chris Christie too. So
I will say this, and people, they floor me when they say, "What has Lane Kiffin won?" They floor me with that, right? Let me tell you something. Do you know what's about to happen to LSU?
Oh my God. The chicken guy's anteing up, baby. That's a lot of money.
Do you really know what's about to happen with LSU? Because, for one,
Brady Hoke, thank you.
Rocky can attest to this. Louisiana in itself is a hotbed of athletes that pretty much all go to LSU. All the 5 stars, bulk of them go to LSU, except for the ones that want to go play elsewhere, which isn't that many. That's number one. So he's going to retain all of that. He's a developer of quarterbacks. He can have high-powered offenses. And if he keeps Blake Baker or whatever and the defense stays at the level that it is, LSU is about to become a fucking problem. And at the end of the day, I got news for you. You're giving him a $25 million roster budget as well to go buy who the fuck he wants. Oh yeah. So for everybody that said, what has Lane won? You about to find out.
Mhm.
And it makes me
Hold on.
sick.
He went to LSU.
Well, he's
He's about
about
to.
to.
He's
He's
about
about to.
LSU is finalizing a $90 million contract, and they're going to attach
$90
a
million.
$25 million roster pool for him to get whatever players he wants.
Let's get ready
I
to have.
heard. Oh, I thought they pulled the trigger. I thought they pulled the trigger on that.
Apparently, there was some agreement behind the scenes, Chris, that they got to get through the Egg Bowl so that way
Yeah.
they can secure their playoff spot. But the writing's on the wall that he's going to
Coming
take
next
that
week.
LSU job, and
Coming
then
next week.
some interim will have to get them ready for whoever they play. So,
Now I will say this, Chris Kane. He wasn't sorry, Stallion. He wasn't in LFJ. I stand by this. He wasn't LSU's first choice.
He wasn't.
Of course he was.
LSU got turned down.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how that went down.
was it Joe Brady
will-
was the first choice that turned him down, or what?
They had two pro guys. Joe was one. The other guy was Kelvin Shepard from Detroit. They both of them turned him down.
Wow.
Mm.
The Detroit Lions, DC, LFJ, Kelvin Shepard.
Yeah, and I'll say this: him potentially about to accept the LSU job. I think that's more on Ole Miss because Ole Miss, if they would have,
It's going to not yet.
Yeah, he's about to do it. They were getting everything done now. If Ole Miss would have just shut the fuck up and stopped putting pressure on him, telling him you got until next week to decide what you're gonna do. Who the fuck do you think? Do you know who you fucking with? Like seriously, like literally, I'm thinking of Alonzo in training day. Like, who the fuck are you? I'm the fucking police. Do you know who you fucking with? Like, this is Lane fucking Kiffin we're talking about.
Yeah.
That's the last motherfucker you want to put pressure on. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna give it back to everybody. People are starting to dog him, talking about you. See, there he goes again. There he goes again. Lane wasn't saying shit. Everybody else was coming after Lane, and I'm sorry. 90 million, a better roster, a better opportunity. Who in the hell ain't gonna leave their job and level up for more money?
Yeah.
LSU's a top 5 job in the country.
It's the top available job right
Facilities, game day atmosphere, the recruiting hotbed. Not to mention, he'll have East Texas and those and anything he wants from Florida and California and Georgia as well. Whatever he wants.
LSU will be, and God, I hate to say this because I hate them. I've hated them all my life.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be honest. LSU will be back in the national championship game within 3 years once Lane takes over. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Because, like I said, the non-believers that wanted to roll with Mario wanted to roll with the Homer. For whatever reason, they're looking at his past. Lane has evolved as a coach. When you don't take Ole Miss and give them 3 10-win seasons and you're not good. And that's what gets me with these people. Well, what has he done? What has he done? He hasn't won nothing. Well, hell, you win 10 games at Ole Miss in the SEC, having to deal with Alabama and all of them big dogs in the SEC every year, and you holding it against him because he can't win the damn SEC championship. Look what he's dealing with. He had to deal with Saban in the SEC West. He had to deal with LSU. Come on, man. The fuck?
Yeah, obviously he's done good enough to garner the amount of interest that he has from the programs around the country that that has come after him. Everybody, which is everybody.
Hey, James, Kyle wants to come on. If you put
Sure,
the link up.
sure, I'm going to do it right now. So sorry, I just got a phone call, but let me go on ahead and put that link up there. So hold on one second. Got plenty of room, so more the merrier.
Nah, Kyle, see what Kyle says. He said SEC loves Alabama and Georgia right now. Kalen DeBoer ain't gonna get more love than Lane Kiffin. I don't see it.
I don't know.
Because he
Caleb
went
DeBoer
from
might
being
have a U-Haul truck in his front yard.
exactly. He went from being on the hot seat at the end of the season to being on a hotter seat after FSU's loss to getting loved again when they went on their streak. The seat's warming up again right now after what happened, and depending what happens next week, the U-Haul truck might be getting gassed up and ready to go to his house eventually. They ain't gonna put up with that shit in Tuscaloosa.
What do y'all think about this? Eric says Mario would have Miami mid-tier in the SEC.
That's the question that I pose to people when they say that. When they say that Lane hadn't won nothing. It's okay, flip-flop him. If Mario's so good and you believe in him, if Lane comes to Miami and if he would have been here at the same time that Mario would have been at Ole Miss, tell me what Mario would have did at Ole Miss.
Nothing. Went 7-5.
7-5.
Maybe 6
7
and
5,
6.
8-4, top ceiling. Mario would have been Sam Pittman in his first year.
Well, guys,
And
we got somebody else to add to the stage. So let's bring him on. Old Lickerdale, let's do it, and we'll give him some applause. And welcome to the show, Lickerdale.
yeah.
Yeah.
Speak your piece.
What's going on, brothers?
What's it
What
going?
up, what up?
Man, Italian Stallion, man. I've been hearing about the show, man, for the last couple weeks, months or so, but I ain't never been able to find it on YouTube. So thanks, Larry Frank, with the inbox, man. Put me
Gotcha.
on.
Gotcha.
Welcome to the show. So yeah, we're still in the infancy. We're in episode 6, but we going against the pack. That's the name of this. So let's go.
And James Freeman, remember, me and you, we go way back when we were just Facebook chat with Larry Frank and
we did.
way back.
8 years ago.
Chatting.
So, yeah.
But the thing is, with Mario, like I said, in the chat, I know we could do better with Mario as far as a head coach. You know, I know Lane Kiffin. I agree, Lane Kiffin is better. Some other coaches better other than Mario, but Mario is able to elevate that money here. You know what I mean? That might be some drug money, some mob money. I don't know where the money come from down there, but they getting the money from some goddamn where.
Yep.
And that's the only thing I'll tell you, with money wise, and anybody can recruit down there as long as you got a good mouthpiece. Now we got the money here, anybody can recruit down there if you're a decent coach. Because Miami sells itself. We just saw if Mark Rich had this money that Mario getting right now, Mario would have never even came here as a coach. We would have won a championship by now. Mark Rich.
Yep. Yep. I'd even argue that we're still paying for the sins of what Coker did. I mean, honestly, the fact that you betray the royalty of the Kane legacy of a Don Saldinger or a Vernon Hargraves
He let all them guys go.
or Curtis Johnson, all those recruiting hotbeds. I mean, because Curtis Johnson had that Louisiana connection from New Orleans over there. And
he's a good coach too, though.
He is damn right. I mean, the guys would come back from the NFL and go train with him.
That's who recruited Reggie Wayne and Ed Reed.
Yep,
right.
And they would all go train with him again and so forth.
And like I said, Larry Frank's on the coaching. I mean, Lane Kiffin, he's gonna go out there and do a good job. But for right now, like I say, they love it on Georgia, they love it on Alabama, they kind of love it on Texas, and this is the reason why I say this. And y'all attest to this. Miami's supposed to be the top ACC team, right?
Right now, yeah.
The referees don't even treat us like we the best thing that can get to the championship.
Yep.
But we get the bad deals from the referees and the goddamn coach and the other ADs and coaches from other teams. If we're the best team, why go against us when we already know nobody else gonna win shit?
Because they don't want to win. Listen, they don't want to win. And I pointed it out last week that you have buffoons and they are useless people in these executive positions that are just atrocious. The head of the commissioner of the ACC was once the associate's athletic director at Notre Dame. He's a Big Ten guy. And it's like, who are you really fighting for, man? Illinois sucks, man.
Now remember when Clemson had their run.
Right.
Man, they would cheat and nails to make sure Clemson would win these games in the ACC to make sure they get to the championship. They would the ACC referees would cheat to make sure that, I mean, they ain't really go against Florida State as much, but when they was winning, they made sure they won them damn games so they can get to represent the conference. SEC, you take Georgia, Alabama, and Texas. Well, Texas kind of messing themselves up. Texas, they'll make sure they push them teams forward, man, to make sure they go to the championship game. If they even need help from the referees, they would do that.
They're putting them in position right now with these rankings to keep them, available so they can get in. So yeah, no doubt.
You know what I want to see, Lickerdale? You know what I'm praying for this weekend? Somehow, some way in that Iron Bowl, Auburn gets the win. You know why? You know why? I want to see what happens. Yep. I want to see the fallout from that.
Auburn.
I mean, I doubt it.
I think first of all, Auburn beat them last year. I think.
No.
Okay, they came back last second. They almost
last second. Yeah.
But
Almost did.
but the thing Auburn roster is really, really towed the hell up right now.
Well, that's true, but they always show up for the Iron Bowl. Auburn
But
always
that roster is messed up though, man.
Don't sleep on Auburn. Don't
They
sleep
played
on
well.
them.
I said it. I said it.
So anything can
Said it.
happen.
Anything can happen because that's hatred. Right
Let's
there.
look at this. Let's look at it like this. The second most violent, just serious bowl game rivalry with Alabama is LSU. And Alabama couldn't even dominate LSU with an interim coach. Now, Auburn has an interim coach too. But this is Auburn. And they're playing for nothing. They're not going to a bowl game. And they know Alabama's play up.
They ain't got no coach, man.
Auburn should have beat Georgia.
You know what
screwed them out of that game.
You know what that means, Lickerdale? It's house money.
It's house money.
It's house money. They got
and then guess what? This ain't Nick Saban's Alabama team. This Alabama team is beatable. This is not a dominant Alabama team.
Nowhere near Saban.
Dominant, but they got a hell of a better roster than goddamn Auburn don't even come close to that roster.
Guess what? Miami got a hell of a lot of a better roster too, and how that shit work out. It comes down to coaching.
Well, hey, I got one for you guys real quick. Sorry to interrupt, but keep your train of thought. Auburn won against their shitty opponent that they paid millions of dollars for. They hung 62 on Mercer. They actually can get into a shitty bowl game at 6-6 if they take care of business on Saturday against Alabama, and it's at home.
But the thing is, just like I go back on James Franklin, what I just said, they want to make sure Alabama get in that 12-team playoff.
Yeah, that too.
If the referees got a twist and turn that game, they're going to make sure Alabama get in there. And that's the point I'm saying about why Miami doesn't get any help with the referees and the committee on the ACC. Y'all know we got a better team that can get in there, but why we keep getting shafted every goddamn week? And that's why I say when it come down to Alabama and Auburn this week, Auburn might fight them all the way to the end. But the referee's going to make sure they dictate that game to make sure Alabama win that damn game.
Mm-hmm. And they playing in Alabama.
Correct. No, it says Auburn. I think it's at Auburn. It's at Auburn.
I thought it was at Auburn last year.
No. It's actually at Auburn this year because Alabama had their senior day yesterday. So
they're gonna make sure they win.
I got some bad news for y'all from Miami, and so if that does happen, that means Miami ain't getting in because Alabama was crying about they should have been in last year. So if
that's how I
get them in.
That's our fucking fault. We fucked our own shit up.
Well,
right.
That's what it is.
Take care of your business when it's in front of you. Don't wait for somebody else. They have to take care and make you and help you when they don't even like you.
But
why would Pitt help us?
Don't let the Miami fans hear you say that because, hey, all they doing is crying about rankings and shit. I'm tired of hearing about the damn crying of the rankings.
Well, you know how I am, but you already know how I am when it comes to that. Yeah. You know, if I go against Florida State fans, I'll go against Florida, Georgia, anybody. Bring it. Mm-hmm. Bring it. You know me.
Mess yourself up, man.
Can I ask you guys something too? Because I think that we're all real and we're all on the same page here. And Brandon, yeah, you can call in, brother. You can call in anybody. I put it up there in the chat. My thing is this: is that we all agreed. We thought this team was dead. The way they looked against SMU, it's like they didn't even care no more. I'm frankly shocked that they actually did as well as they did these last 3 weeks because teams in the past have just completely they don't give a shit. Like they have lost 3 or 4 games in a row. And we just thought it was going to be more of the same. And what's really been more hilarious is what's united this fan base together is we were kind of afraid, well, we don't want to be put in if we're going to get just our asses whipped. But now we're kind of like, okay, you don't want to keep us in. No, I want us in now because I want to see what we can do. Because now you've got our backs against the wall like a dog. You know what I mean? I mean, what do y'all think about this? Just curious. So
it's a catch-22 because while you can't argue at 113-34, because that's how much we've outscored our last, I think, 3 opponents by is 113-34. You can't argue with that. But in the same breath, it's frustrating because you see it there, and it's done almost in a plotting way. if you will. What do I mean by that? The frustration is that this team has the explosiveness, has the talent, especially on offense, to really take. We should have taken care of business those 2 games. And for whatever reason that I will never know, we're in this situation where we got to pray at the end of the year. And Lickerdale, you don't know this, but the last show, Stallion had up the games that we had to watch. There were like 5. He doesn't have it up this week because there's like 20 that we got to look at. We don't have a ticker long enough for the games that we got to watch this week to try to figure this out.
Right. I get it. I pay close attention, and Larry Frank and Devin, they do a good job of forecasting that stuff with Freeman too. Because Freeman come on the Italian Stallion, I was the first one to call in, so he always put it out there. Hey, but the thing is, you're right, Rocky. And it goes back to my comment. We don't have that doggy dog head coach. We don't have that like Jimmy Johnson. Hey, lay it on them. Put the knee on the throat. And then his assistant, Butch Davis, and all them guys had the same mentality as well. But they didn't give a damn as well, too. Miami is being held to a standard like we're the 80 Hurricanes. But the mentality of the coaches is not really like that.
Right.
That's true.
They treat us and think of us as the 80s Canes. But our coaching staff don't have a mentality like that, man. Now, we had Lane Kiffin. They has to be in goddamn trouble.
That'd be Don Johnson with the damn with DeLorean or whatever. So,
Lane has that attitude, man, and it trickles down to the team.
The thing is with Lane, guys, it's too late. It's too late.
I know. I'm just saying, we had a Lane kick. If we had that type of coach with, well, I ain't saying him because it's too late to get him, but we had a coach with that mentality. There's some out there.
A young Jimmy. Yep. A young Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, he's at Indiana right now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that guy likes to cut people's nuts off. Watch what he'll do to Purdue on Saturday.
Oh yeah. You want to see somebody that's not going to care about running up the score? Watch Indiana.
He'll put 80 on that bastard.
Signetti gives 0 fucks.
Yeah, we got another one that wants to jump on. He's been wanting to come on for a couple of weeks. Let's welcome Brandon Brock to the stage, and I want to give him that applause. Brandon, welcome to Stallion Speaks. Brother, speak your piece.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's up, Larry Frank? I'll be on you talking everything too. So
what up?
Excuse me for that, but I just wanted to just kind of bring up a few points. Like, first of all, I am going to say, because I was at the SMU game, that was really our game. We had that one, but really, to be honest with you, if the referees give us our pass interference after the defender grabbed his arm and pulled him backwards, and they said no penalty for pass interference on SMU, but holding on Miami, we get that call, and all we really had to do there was just take a knee, and it was over. You know what I mean? Or either we're right there in our scoring range, we put up another field goal and it's over. But like for me, as far as saying that, control our own destiny, I mean, we saw even Florida State a few years ago be undefeated, and still their player got hurt, and they said, nope, you're not good enough to get in. So we're still at the mercy of the committee because we're in the ACC. I mean, we're seeing teams in the SEC right now that have 2 losses as well, 2 bad losses, and they are still talking about their chances to get into the college football playoff. Like they still in position to get into the CFP. But for Miami, it's like we need a lot of, bullshit to happen, for it to, it has to be like destiny if Miami gets in. This gonna be a miracle. But in a sense, it's like, don't put yourself in position where the referees can fuck you out of a game. But at the same time, too, though, it does happen. It happens to the best of the teams. It happens to, sometimes the worst of the teams. Again, Georgia beat Texas last week. They were riding the shit out of Georgia's dick. They getting hot at the right time. They they beat fucking Texas, bro. It wasn't no goddamn like what I mean, like that team has been struggling all year long. They've gotten bailed out by some referees to how they only have one loss.
They
Georgia
should have
should be
lost to
sitting on
Florida.
3 losses right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they should have
and
lost to
Auburn.
Florida. Yep.
And Auburn.
Yep.
They were supposed to have lost both of those games. They really should have lost to Tennessee too. Tennessee had
Georgia
their
should
ass.
have a couple more losses too.
Yeah, exactly. They should have a few more losses, and the referees,
But the
bail them out.
referees
But
take care of they heavy hitters.
exactly. But when Georgia wins a game against another team that they want to say is good, oh, all of a sudden they the fucking best team in the nation. But when an ACC team does it, or a Big 12 team does it, or really too a Big 10 team does it, then it's kind of like, oh, let's wait and see what they do against this another like great fucking team. You know what I'm saying? I'm just kind of like that's just a whole lot of bullshit that weighs in on
I got real quick, not to cut you off, but I just want to highlight it. I got some good news. Pittsburgh is ranked 24 in the AP, so that tells me that the CFP is probably going to rank them in the top 25, which means if Miami beats them, that'll give them a 4th victory over a ranked team, which could help.
Yep.
I just wanted to get that in. Go ahead, Mr. Brock.
Hopefully.
And SMU should be ranked too.
ACC.
Yeah, SMU is 25.
Yeah, SMU.
So they have a good loss to a ranked team, Hunter. I mean,
a good loss.
But at the same time, it's the ACC. You know what I mean? So that's the other knock right there, right? So.
Hey, what about the Big 12 guys, real quick? Keep your train of thought, Brandon. I brought it up. The Big 12 got it. I mean, they made a call to yesterday. I mean, Utah, it was a gritty win, according to ESPN. Kansas State is trash. I mean, they are absolute trash. They put 500 yards on that Utah. What the hell is Ole Miss if Lane Kiffin stayed at Ole Miss would put offensively? Lacey would have a career day, 400 yards on the ground.
Let's be honest. With that, Miami should have moved up. Vanderbilt should have jumped Utah, and Utah should have fell back. Why in the fuck did they put Vanderbilt?
Right, exactly.
You see Vanderbilt up ahead now. Yep.
Yeah.
And I went to that Virginia Tech comparing bullshit, but yeah.
And I'll say this too, like Deion Sanders said it. He said that on that CFP committee, there should be representatives from every conference. Utah now got an administrator who is on the fucking CFP board. So he finna, of course, he finna fight for it.
He needs to be removed tomorrow.
I mean, right.
What is this bullshit that you add somebody halfway through the fucking season? You do that next year or whatever. We're just gonna make it up as we fucking go.
Yeah. But Coach Prime said it.
You notice that change happened after that previous guy, Mac Rose, was giving Miami love and saying, "Oh, we love Miami. All they got to do is this," and all of a sudden, now you replace the motherfucker.
They yanked him off like Charlie Chaplin, 1930 style, off the damn stage or whatever. Get out of here. We don't need you.
They threw his ass out like Uncle Phil used to throw Jeffrey off the fucking porch.
He
did. My final point would be, that for me, I see Miami. It could change if Mario's willing to change, but the main problem with Miami that I keep saying, y'all, is just that it's too soft. That is the main problem right there. If we could get, I don't want to say we got to get players out here trying to make dirty plays and targeting calls and all that kind of stuff there, but you got to get some guys with a little bit more grit to them. Ruben Bain, he's as strong as an ox, but he has a smile on his face. Nothing seems to shake him. Francis Mauigoa the same way.
He's
what I mean? Like I'm just not seeing enough, guys that got that grit, that heart. Exactly.
We got pandas, not grizzlies.
That's right.
Yeah. Mark Fletcher is as big as a beast, but he's as nice as as they come.
And he always been a nice kid too, man.
Right. Yeah, and I'm not knocking. I'm not saying they need to change who they are or anything like that. That's good. But I think Mario's too. He's trying too hard to get that ugly stain off Miami instead of realizing people are always going to talk shit about Miami being cheaters, having thugs and all that stuff on their teams. So you got to say fuck that and just get the players that you want to get, and you know, keep
we
doing
don't
what you
have
do.
players like that.
Right, exactly, right.
So,
Embrace
so
being
if
the
that's
villain.
the
Goodness
case,
gracious.
if that's the
Embrace it.
case, and if that's exactly what Mario's doing, then I have a problem with that. Because if you're
Yeah.
worrying about the stigma of the perception of Miami that goes back 30, 40 years because you're trying to
Yep.
clean up the perception, you have a problem. Because guess what? That shit is in the past. Just coach the
Exactly.
damn team and have the team ready to impose their will. So what if you run up the score on people? Just so
Man.
the fuck what? Just
Ooh.
do it.
Can I say
He's
this?
scared of
I
that,
was
Larry
glad.
Frank. He's
Can I
scared
say
of
this?
that.
I was
He's scared
glad.
of them.
I was glad they threw that touchdown at the end as a fuck you because they needed.
Right.
They should have been doing it the
They
whole
needed,
quarter.
they needed to do it when they got the damn ball. They
Yes.
throw a ball up to Josh Moore. He would have caught it.
Preach.
They couldn't stop him. Look.
Nothing made me smile more than last week when Jacoby Thomas, and we talked about it last week, when he caught that pick six and he was heading to the house and he pointed at the quarterback and said, "Hey, you come on, I'm gonna bowl your ass over." That is what
And
we
ran
need,
his ass.
and just truck that bitch. Nothing was better than that.
You
That's
That's
what
damn
Miami
what
played.
we
Here it is. Here it is. There
That
it is.
right there.
That right
That's
there.
right there.
Come here, motherfucker, and get you some. So
Yeah.
yep.
Because I didn't look at the picture good enough at first. I was
I
kind of
thought
like,
he gave him the finger.
that's what I thought. I thought he was like running like, yeah, bitch, I'm funding the score. Like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Could you
know?
imagine?
That guy gets
look, y'all want something real? Could you imagine an Alonzo Highsmith or an Al Blades or somebody saying, listening to the guy like Mario saying, "Oh, you gotta be nice," and man, then look at these dudes in the coach room and man, fuck you, man, we're gonna kick some ass on the football.
Rocky, I'll throw it even better. What if the Louisville people threw the U down right in front of Jerome Brown and those
If they
guys?
got them fight.
They would get their hands broken. I mean,
Yeah.
The next time they try to throw the U down there, they had to be with their feet. I'll tell you that right now, because you wouldn't have had no hands.
Some
Hands would have been sitting up there like this.
And if that was the case, Jimmy Johnson wouldn't have had a problem with it. He would have taken the 15 at the expense of letting
Beginning of the
Miami
game.
get their respect.
At the beginning of the game.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, they ass out of the frame. And see, that's the problem with Mario.
Hey, remember what it did back? You remember what it did back in what that was? 93 when they played in the Cotton Bowl. When all
90 was the Cotton Bowl.
They went to that 15.
90, yeah.
Randall Thrill Hill with the 21.
Randall Hill, yeah.
Yep.
Remember Larry Frank buddy was on there. Randall Hill came down and busted right in the damn ball game over. See, you got to go there. Where's that dude at? Because he's another one.
They got off the plane. They said, "This place sucks, man. Let's just beat these guys' asses and get the fuck out of here and go back to
Miami." You think they would have did that to Jerome Brown? You think they would have?
Nothing was better than when they were down here in 2000 for the Sugar Bowl. I was on Bourbon Street and I saw the brawl. They were kicking Florida players' asses on Bourbon Street. They were fighting on Bourbon Street.
Alex Brown had that nice, and guess who gave it to him? Santana Moss gave him that fucking.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
man. LFJ, I was at that game. I went to that game. The Sugar Bowl against Florida. I was telling all my Florida fan friends, y'all wait for this beat down because they were talking all kind of shit. I said, yeah, we're going to beat y'all by 40, and it's not even going to be close.
That's right.
And you know what? I wasn't even mad when Sebastian got us that 15-yard penalty when he hugged Shockey in the end zone or Davenport, whichever one he hugged, and so forth. And Butch got all mad. Man, Todd Severs with his big leg, he kicked that 50-yard fucking extra point like it was nothing, man. Shit.
But guys, they knew we're saying all this when we're talking about all these memories and stuff, reminiscing about the U. They didn't give a shit because we knew between those hashes and between those goal lines, those dudes were gonna get the job done, no matter what.
Flip that switch.
Period.
Yep.
And that's what goes back to what you guys been preaching the whole season. Although Mario might half-ass fuck the calling up. But at the end of the day, between the lines, always going to come back to the players. And those old school players didn't give a damn what the coach had to say because they played their game.
Yeah, I'm right.
Well, that's what I loved about Cam last year. Cam didn't give a shit about Mario and what he wanted.
He was old school.
Yeah,
he was old school.
He played his game.
That was the problem.
Cam's like, fuck you. I'm running what I want to run. And it worked.
Right. Yep. And it worked. Yeah, when he told Buddy at USF, hey, we running this play right here. Right here. We running it right here.
Yep.
and ran into some bitch right there and still couldn't stop it.
Yeah.
Hey,
Come
Larry.
on, man.
Larry, I don't know if anybody else noticed it, but I did, and I didn't want to say nothing, but I'm going to take credit for something. What about my comment I made on the show last week where Cam actually looked at the damn thing, and I'm like, what are they looking at? YouPorn.com or Pornhub.com on the sideline with that iPad? Guess who we saw on the sideline looking at the iPad? Our boy Carson Beck was finally looking at it. Now, he might have been checking Hannah Cavender's Twitter account or something, but it looked like he was doing something with the iPad. And I said it last week. I was like, what you doing with that iPad? Where's it at? I mean, because I don't see nobody looking at it. And sure enough, there he was on the sideline doing this, and his receivers were around him. I said, if I got that motherfucker to do it, I'm going to take credit for it, damn it, on Stallion Speaks. So there
About
we go.
time he look at it, but now you want to look at the damn crap. Now you want to look at the damn iPad. The iPad is available for you for 1 year.
But fellas, everything is a day late and a dollar short now.
That's what this
This
program's been for
approach
20 years now.
should have been from day one. And I was worried after Notre Dame. I said, man, we should have stomped their ass. I hope this doesn't go on and on like this. But unfortunately, it came to pass. But if they would have just established the culture that, hey, we're going to run this back. Because remember, losing Cam, losing our top 6 wide receiver targets and all of that last year, we didn't know what this offense was going to do. We were so worried about the defense. We didn't know what the offense was going to do. And for the offense to come in with these new receivers, C.J. Daniels comes in, he has the attitude, he's singing and all of that shit against Florida State. Like, you really had an opportunity to run it back from last year just in a different way. You may not have scored 40, 50 points a game like we did last year with Cam, but you would have scored enough points to where your defense wasn't a liability and you're undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And they dropped the ball.
I wanted to bring this comment up from Eric. He's not in the chat anymore. He had to go, but he coaches like it's 20 years ago. 14 to 21 point lead isn't enough these days. It's not dominance to sit on. And Larry, in that game, you could have put the damn nail in the coffin in the third quarter, but you let them hang around, and then it came down to a damn kick on the damn wet field. Thank God that Cam Davis boy made it, but fuck. I mean, shit.
Yeah,
so, yeah, I don't know.
But
the Louisville game is going to be worse now because look at their record and look at the fact that these trash teams have beaten them. And what's worse, you didn't handle business at home. Nobody should come into Hard Rock and beat us. Not one fucking team. I don't care who it is. Not one.
Nobody.
Because it's a big game, people will be there. And they showed. The intensity that first month was beautiful in Hard Rock.
Hey, real quick, because I got to go. Hey, what time do you normally come on?
So Stallion Speaks, we do 8 o'clock Sunday night. There was only one show that I was late getting back, but I traveled all day just so we could get on time here at 8 o'clock. But 8 o'clock Sunday nights, and Lickerdale, it's part of this Rebels with a Cause channel that I'm growing. We are the Jeffersons to the All in the Family of Utah. We are the spinoff, honestly. So that's what we like to call it over here. But
hey, y'all take care, man, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week, man.
You're always welcome.
Tuesday.
What?
I see you on Tuesday, right?
Oh, tomorrow night. Tomorrow night is going to be.
Oh yeah, tomorrow night. Listen to this. Yeah, go ahead.
Because did you do the video, James? Did you have a chance to chop it up and do it?
I did not get a chance to do the video. Unfortunately, I was traveling.
I just came on, man. I just came on.
So let me give you a quick breakdown of what's going to happen. So James, this motherfucker, okay. Let me tell you what he did. I don't know if I'm pointing the right way.
Yeah, now you're pointing the right way. Go the other way.
Okay, so because if I do it this way, it's like I'm pointing at Rocky. But this motherfucker over here last week at the end of the show, we talking about you saw the topic last week if women are becoming the new men because they're strong because men don't want to do right. These new generation men. So this motherfucker at the end of the show last week makes a comment that men, if they get all the what in the world, that they won't cheat, and he set Shy off. So now tomorrow night, him and Shy are gonna have a 3-round debate because she's been
tearing your ass up on that.
You know what I said. I got sorry, Stallion.
Ain't too much. I really can.
I listen. I said it last week when
I'm ready.
I said, Shy, I'm gonna let you run it. You on Stallion? You on your own, cuz I'm gonna just sit back and moderate.
Hey, I can't comment on that one.
This shit ain't going in well, dog.
Just
I can't even put a twist to it.
Tune in and watch.
To quote Lane Kiffin, grab your popcorn. That's all I'm going to say because I am going down that
he's
quick,
never lost a debate.
I've never lost a debate, not in high school, nothing. And I am prepared for fact, counterfact.
I mean,
and I'm
you
gonna
can,
get
you can make a
prepared.
point. It's some points to make, but it's hard to argue,
It
especially
is. It is hard.
a woman
But
that's been in the trenches like that before too.
but I got a little ace up my sleeve because I
Don't
can
let it out.
agree.
Don't let it out. Don't let it out because she might be listening.
No, she might. I hope she is. I hope she is. No, I got a little lace up my sleeve because here's the thing. Here's the truth of it. When I'm posed a question or a counter question, like Larry gave me the debate style, how I'm going to address it is where do this. Well, I'm not going to say it. I'll wait till tomorrow. But what I'm just going to say is this: is that if she will listen to my argument,
She ain't gonna listen.
well, we'll see. We'll see. I'll
we've
listen
got
to
this
hers.
is why
I'll listen to hers.
I set up this is how it's going to be, and I already let her know, and I let Stallion know it's going to be 3 rounds. He gets to ask a question to her in his 3 minutes. She gets to answer it, then he can give a rebuttal. Then the next round, she can ask the question, or she can go first. Either which way, he's going to ask a question. 3-round debate. Everybody has a talking point. Nobody's going to talk over each other. You got 3 minutes to make your point.
Put them on. Put them on.
We'll be muted. We will be muted. Yes,
it will be muted. It will be muted. And then the final round, I'm going to ask a question to both of them, and that's how we're going to do it. So both of them will have 3 minutes equally, and when your 3 minutes is up, boom. So yeah.
So that's 8 o'clock tomorrow night.
8 o'clock tomorrow night.
All I'm going to say is this. Larry will back me up. I always do my homework when I'm going to do a topic, like I did with the ACC officials last week. So I'm not going to come in there with 2 hands behind my back. This is what you're going to see. This guy, this look right here when I was training back in the day. So, yeah, for sure.
So this ain't going to be like this.
Like Mario, man.
Nah.
Yeah. This ain't going to be like another Chris Kane Will.I.am, is it, Larry Frank?
Oh no, it's no. It's going down. It's going down.
Oh,
okay.
Chris, you owned that motherfucker so bad. Will.I.am. Oh my God, that was a beat down in the first round. So
Shy was so mad. Shy was still talking about it in the group chat on Thursday. She is ready.
She's ready. So.
And to me, I ain't gonna lie, I sprinkled fuel on the fire today because when I put in the group chat, I say, he's ready for you. I said,
you'll see those videos on YouTube.
Of course you would.
You'll see those videos on YouTube of train wrecks. Check out Monday.
Oh man, it's gonna be real nice.
Somebody need to get that soundbite.
All right, man, we'll catch you tomorrow.
All right, look at that.
I'm ready.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Somebody need to get that soundbite. It was at this time he knew. Fucked up.
He fucked up.
Or she or whoever, just he, she, or they or whatever. Did somebody just need to get the soundbite for that one? Where's Coach Hayes when you need him?
Well, hey, as long as I don't make this face, wait a minute. I'm going to give you all a little preview. As long as I don't make this face right here, hold on one moment. I'm going to put it up here. As long as I don't make this face, I'm okay. If you see me make that face while she's talking, then you know that it's over or whatever like that. But I ain't going to make that face. I ain't like this guy. I ain't. So
grab me some popcorn. I'm going to sit back.
I might have a separate cord on that.
I got a nice outfit for tomorrow night too. So yeah.
It's gonna be wild. It's gonna be wild. I can't wait.
Coming in like Apollo Creed, I want you and Rocky just like that.
Long as she don't come in there like Drago.
Yeah, but if she come out there with Drago, she might look at you and Drago
like Drago.
You will lose.
You will lose. So.
And then when your boy hit the dogs, and when the damn dogs didn't move, and he's like, all right, hey man, I'm sorry. You know what, Chris? I'm out the ring. I'm going.
Chris, I want you to be that, brother. If you can do that, like throw in the damn towel, Larry.
Throw the damn towel.
LFJ, I've listened to that show a couple of times. One thing I could tell you, Stallion, Shy, don't forget.
She don't. No, she doesn't. She doesn't. But I will tell you this though. To be fair to Sister Shy, she did agree with a lot of my points for that one episode that you guys let me be on a while back or whatever when we were talking about what makes a successful relationship. And I'm going to kind of come on, from that kind of standpoint because at the end of the day, look. There are pieces of shit on both sides of the gender. Let's just be real, okay? I mean, but the truth of the matter is that I just think that some of our, I shouldn't say finer, but our piece of shit individuals that represent our gender have made a bad name for all of us, and I don't think that's fair either. That's the truth of it, because there's plenty of them that have made bigger issues of stuff that's not fair. And that's all I was agreeing with when you were finishing your statement, Larry. I didn't mean to cause a firestorm, but I just thought that you had some points last week, man.
It was just on the heels that all I said to end the show last week
Yeah,
was, ladies, stop using that puss as a weapon.
that's
And
right.
you just happened to put your
Mm-hmm.
point in, and
Yeah.
she
Yeah, but because Rocky Chris even brought up a point too about like how are you just going to turn away a man if just because he don't have like he don't like bow down to you or something like that. Like if he's a provider and if he's, I mean, you brought up some great points, Chris. I was listening and I was just like, man, I mean, and at the end of the day, what, we're supposed to still do that and not get the puss? Come on. I mean, shoot, we got to get something out of this too.
Every individual has their flaws. Every individual has their pluses and minuses. I mean, everybody's different. You can't hold one situation with one couple or one relationship you have. You can't carry that over. Think it's going to be the same way with the next one.
Facts.
You want to talk about keys. I mean, the key is communication. I mean, that's it. Anyway,
you know what's so telling about this?
I'm an alpha guy. They wouldn't like me LFJ. I'd be all up there. I'd be up there so fast.
Well, and look at this. Like and I'm actually getting more mad looking at this picture and so forth because the player next to Mario cares more about what's going on there. That was when he knew that we had just thrown the 4th or 5th interception, whatever the fuck it was. That I mean,
Mario in that picture is wondering if he's gonna have empanadas or ropa vieja for dinner. That's what.
Or cafecito waiting for him in his office or whatever like that. So I mean,
and to be honest with you, in that Virginia Tech game, nobody really talked about it, but the way that Bet messed around, he almost threw a pick the daggone Malachi Tony come across that middle. If that dude would have caught that ball, would have had better hands, had hand motor skills, he'd have threw a pick in that game. I'd have been like, bro, Beck, you better chill the hell out. But see, it take all of that for him to learn, because he ain't make no stupid ass play after that set.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? He learned. His eyes is too damn big. I'm gonna tell you something. Listen. I don't care what you got to do. You better snort a line or something before you go to Pittsburgh and get your mind right. You better do something. If you got to get involved with it, if you get your damn nose, he already sitting there, damn nose already sitting there looking like a toucan sand beat. That bitch long enough. You better get whatever you got to do to get yourself right. Get right, bro. Get right.
I said this last week, Chris Kane. You didn't hear me, but me and Stallion frequent another show. We go 10-2. We don't make it into the playoffs, and I hear 20-4, and we in a good place and all this. I'm going on another show, and I'm laying the wood. I am laying wood. I'm burning that fucking house down.
Yeah. Let me know.
I'll let it know through you, so y'all can come listen and hear what I tell the other folks. And I don't care. I don't care if they kick me off.
The apologists, and the slurpers.
I don't care. Like I said, Chris Kane, I'm gonna let it play out. Let's see what happens after Pittsburgh, and let's see where the chips fall. But if I hear the excuse machine start flowing this time around, nah, no way.
You will.
Because 10-2 and 7-4 is nothing.
I want a little overtime real quick because this has been such a great discussion, and we could reminisce and talk all day. I got a scenario for you guys. This game now, as Larry announced, and I wanted to make sure he had the right time in the channel and from when he did the recap show this morning. We're at noon, and so we're gonna know right away at the beginning of the day. But I'm gonna tell you this: if for whatever reason we fuck this up. And there's some shit that happens on Friday with some of these upsets in teams, and we fucked this up at noon, man. I don't even want to think how the apologists and the slurpers spin this shit, honestly, at this point. Because it's like if there's a couple upsets on Friday and all you got to do is fucking win at that point, the hell with the ACC. Like, you have got an at-large bid, and you fuck. Like you said, Rocky, I don't want to hear this narrative of that we can't play in the cold. That's bullshit. That's something that has been put out there because I've seen this team win in plenty of games, and I've seen us suck just as bad in like the games that were supposed to favor us with the humidity down there in Miami. I mean,
if by some miracle, Stallion, okay, let's look at Friday. If by some miracle Mississippi State beats Ole Miss because Lane Kiffin's headed at LSU and they know it and everybody's checked out. If by some miracle I don't know.
Georgia Tech beats Georgia. If Georgia Tech beats
Georgia. If by some miracle, who's the other? I think Utah plays that day. If by some miracle Utah loses, right? Or if some kind of way we have a chance because somebody ahead of us stumbles and we go into the pit game and we fuck that up, yeah. Nuclear holocaust.
I'm gonna give you the games that matter and when they matter. I'm looking at it right now. On Friday, you have and I mean I guess you could say Ole Miss, depending on what happens with Lane, but they're number 6. So even if they lose, I don't see them falling all the way out. They're gonna keep them in. But a game to watch, Kansas 5 and 6 is hosting Utah Friday morning. So that's a game to watch. Friday night you got Georgia Tech, Georgia, which has no bearing on us. You've got Purdue, Indiana, no bearing. You have Friday night, you got Texas and Texas A&M. The only reason we got to watch to see if Texas is going to win, because if they win, they're going to bump them and put them in. Arizona State, Arizona has no bearing. So on Saturday, Michigan, Ohio State plays the same time as Miami. Got to kind of keep an eye on that to see if Michigan wins, because if they win, they're going to put them and jump Miami with that. Of course, you got us in Pitt at 12 o'clock. BYU and UCF, they play at 12 o'clock. Well, actually, it's 11. I'm Central, so it's 11 for me. So 12 o'clock these times are showing Central. So Miami is going to play an hour before BYU. So we're going to have to keep an eye on both of those games at the same time, along with the Michigan game in that morning block. And then at the 2:30 block,
then it's on.
It's on. Now, Washington playing Oregon. Even if Washington beats Oregon, they'd be 10-2. They're not going to bump them from 7 on the way out. LSU, Oklahoma. That is one that is a long shot, but I would love one time if LSU can beat Oklahoma, because if they beat Oklahoma at 9-3, they're out. There's no way.
Can I say something, Larry? Hold your train of thought real quick. God, did LSU look bad yesterday? What the fuck were they? They were the one SEC team that didn't put boots to asses against who they were playing yesterday.
Right.
Who did they play?
They played Western Kentucky. I mean,
senior day, and only won by 3.
The Hilltoppers?
The Hilltoppers.
The Hilltoppers.
You mean the mascots? You mean the mascots that look like
Pat. It looks like it's Pat from Saturday Night Live. Yeah, that one. You don't know what the fuck it is.
Correct me if I'm wrong, LFJ, but isn't Nussmeier back for this one?
I don't know. I know he wasn't dressed out yesterday. I saw the video where he hugged his family and all of that in street clothes, so I don't know.
Oh, my God.
But, man, that daggone mascot for the daggone Hilltoppers look like something else, but I'm gonna leave that off. I ain't gonna say what it is.
So real quick, I just want to round it out. So to round out, you got LSU, Oklahoma at 2:30. You got Tennessee and Vandy at 2:30. That's a big game there because you need Tennessee to win that game, to knock Vandy off. USC, they're a non-factor. Virginia Tech is the night game for ACC championship game purposes. And then at night, to round it out, you got Auburn, Alabama, and
Notre Dame at Stanford.
Notre Dame, Stanford at 9:30. 10 o'clock that night. So, it's spread out well enough where we can see. Now, those are the top 25 matchups. I didn't look at, like Duke and all of them.
Hey, let me ask you this. If Stanford beats Notre Dame, do we send a fruit basket to Andrew Luck?
Yeah.
Dude, everybody want to chip in for a fruit basket or whatever he likes over there in California? Some ganja, some Miami ganja.
Yeah.
Send him some oranges.
Yeah, send him a fruit basket and some pecans or something, so he actually have some, so he actually know what nuts feel like.
He's a goofy looking motherfucker, isn't he? I'm telling you.
I swear, don't he? Bullwinkle face looking mother. Man,
he looks like Inspector Gadget a little bit too. Go Gadget, motherfucker. I mean,
like you need your own theme music.
You better have the lights off if you're his wife, because who would want to look at that in the middle? Never mind.
Hey, you know what? I never knew that the Indianapolis Colts mascot, had a side job after. I mean, he looked just like a damn, He looked just like their mascot, so shit.
No worse than Peyton Manning looking like that Bronco, old horse-faced mother,er. He looked just like the damn. When he went to Denver, it was a perfect match.
Yeah, it was.
Fucking head and all that.
If he had longer hair, it'll look just like that, man.
Oh Oh my
I'm
God.
telling you, man, please.
Listen, if anybody's ever feeling well about themselves, come on, Stallion Speaks. We'll humble you real quick or whatever over here. So
I'm telling you.
Cut them down quick.
Yeah.
Right, right.
I'm telling you.
Well, let me ask you this, guys, to finish up, because I want to always finish up with my favorite segment or whatever like that. Obviously we talked about that, but I always like to finish this off with the idiot of the week. And we can go in order. Chris, Rocky, Larry, who was your idiot of the way? I just want to just know and so forth like that, sports-wise, whatever. So, yeah.
Oh God, I don't know. I'd have to say Joey Galloway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
What a bitch. I mean, what a bitch.
I mean, but you think about, but think about it though. But think about it though, Stallion. Who do you play for?
Ohio State.
Ohio State.
I rest my case.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you need to know.
And I mean, you move the goal. You talk about Notre Dame, and you talk about an eye test. Have you ever known do you know what an eye test means? Like, do you understand the definition of what an eye test means? Define your version of an eye test. Okay? Because I have never in my 40 years of being on this earth that God has given me and put breath inside of my body ever seen a team lose 2 games back to back, and one of them being at home and still being ranked 24th in the country at 0-2. I never seen that. There have been teams that have been 1-1 and were ranked 26th, 27th.
They fell out.
Yep.
They fell out.
Yep.
But Notre Dame is 0-2 and they're ranked 24th.
And everybody forgets how they struggled against Boston College and the NC State team that we just whipped their ass last week. It took second half before they pulled away from NC State. If anybody wants to remember. So, yeah.
Oh,
Facts.
Vivid like a picture.
Boise State, they struggled with that. And that ain't even the Ashton Genty. That Boise State team got their asses ran off by the USF team. We can play that game all day long. And then the only argument is we won 27-24 on Labor Day weekend. That's the argument. That's where the argument needs to stop.
Yeah.
Right.
And also, they haven't beat Miami since 1988 in Miami.
Very true. Very true.
That's right.
That's 37 years, my man.
Yep.
That's a long time to have a drought.
I was 11.
It's also right. I was 3.
Yeah, I was 3. So, yeah.
I was still wearing Fruit of the Looms with the piss front and with the piss stain in the front. Okay.
Yep.
Like, come on, dude. Like, y'all haven't done anything. And even with Brian Kelly, y'all get this close to the national championship and you lose.
A couple of times.
Yep.
And they don't say anything about that because let's not understand something. The season they had last year, they didn't have a trash season. They went to the national championship.
Yeah.
And it could have been one or two things. Either we beat the runner-up to the national championship or we beat the defending national champions. Those were our only 2 options. But either way, we were good as long as we beat them.
Chris, I don't know
And
how many
we did.
ways. I don't know how many ways we got to spell it to the college football committee. How many ways we got to send it to them? If we got to do it in crayons, if we got to do it in number 2 pencils. We beat Notre Dame, point blank period. We beat them.
Yep.
These people talking about an eye test, we should just do it to them, send it to them in Braille. Maybe they'll understand it that way.
Book of Eli shit. So there you go. So,
Something.
Yeah.
But Joey Callaway is my. I wouldn't even say the idiot of the week. He is the donkey of the day, the year, the whatever, the century. You just stupid. You just stupid.
And then you got EJ Manuel sticking up for us, a fucking Knoll. You got
Feinbaum, Danny Cannell.
Sticking up for the Canes.
All the Canes haters. I said it this morning. When you got Canes haters sticking up for Miami, you know you getting fucked.
Jimbo Fisher even, I think, said something nice about Miami, for God's sakes. Jimbo
Nick
fucking Fisher.
Saban, the god of college football, even, and he never hated Miami, but hell, if he's saying it with all these haters that hate us is saying it, okay, come on, y'all, we're getting fucked.
I mean, guys, don't they want ratings? I mean, do they not want ratings for this fucking thing? You want the best market, the brand, everything. I mean, fuck.
Nah, they want Tulane.
Oh my God.
But see, you got to understand something. They don't understand marketing, though, Stallion. Ratings bring television views, bring the ratings. Ratings bring money. What team is going to be a household name if they get in there? Everybody's going to watch us. They may hate us, but they're going to watch us.
Damn right they are.
And depending on, it don't matter why they watch us, just as long as they watch us.
You know
They're going to watch.
You know what I
Okay.
I'm sorry, Chris. I don't mean to interrupt. You know what
Oh, no, go ahead.
If we don't get in, we ought to start a movement. Y'all got Voices LFJ Stallion on YouTube. We go to the Pop-Tart Bowl. Oh, I'm not watching it. Nah. Everybody tune in and see just to show what the ratings would be. All the Miami Hurricane fans across the country tune into that Pop-Tart Bowl. Then get a copy of those Nielsen ratings of that game. Send that shit in a package to the fucking college football playoff committee and say, shove it up your ass.
Yeah, and see how much Texas Tech versus Tulane gets as your first round
versus the first round. Yeah, the Tulane game versus in Lubbock or wherever.
Yeah, the 30,000 assholes that live in Lubbock, and then whoever roots for Tulane there in New Orleans or whatever like that. That's it. So shoot,
Good luck with those ratings.
Yeah, I mean that would be garbage.
I mean, I'm telling you, people they'd rather watch the Pelicans play. Please.
I'm telling you, man. So,
shit. Like the hell? Like, what are we talking about? This is the Canes right here, bro. They're gonna watch us whether we win. They're gonna watch us whether we lose. But regardless of what, like I said, regardless of what they're watching us for, they're going to watch us.
Yep.
They want to see what happens. They were like, "Oh, Miami got it right to the first round. Oh no, Miami got in the playoffs. Oh, they ain't gonna go nowhere. I'm gonna just watch them just to see. Oh, damn, they won the first game. Oh, they going against such and such. Oh, I know they ain't gonna beat them. Hold on. And these boys just fucking around it. Well, these boys just won by. Did they just beat so by 2 touchdowns? Okay. So now they getting ready to go here. This is the next game. Damn, what they? Nah, they ain't gonna win. They not gonna win. They not gonna win. They not. Oh my God, these boys don't want. These motherfuckers done what? Oh my God, these boys going to they're going to the national championship, and they're going to my. Let me tell you something. As far-fetched as that is, and I pray to God that happens, but it's a far-fetched deal. It's just. I'm just saying it.
Will it into existence?
It can happen, but I'm gonna tell you right now. Do you know? Do you know? Anybody here knows how lit that game is going to be if Miami plays a home game in their home stadium and they play for the national championship? Bro, let me tell you something. I ain't got no more sick days. I ain't got no more vacation days. But I can tell you one thing. I'm going to Miami.
I'll find my way. I'll going to
Miami. I don't even want to get in the game. I don't even want to get in the game. Leave me outside in the parking lot. Leave me out there. I got plenty of jerseys over here. I got plenty of them. I got a Cam Ward, I got a Fletcher, and I just got a Ray Lewis. Put me out there in the parking lot.
Yep.
That's it.
That'd be wild.
That's it. Because nobody else will measure up to that game and let it be Ohio State.
Oh,
let it be Georgia or let it be Alabama. Ohio State and Alabama, we owe y'all.
Mm-hmm. I would want Ohio State.
I want Ohio State.
I want Ohio State.
22 years ago. That's how you exercise the curse that's been placed on us for 22 years. That's how you exercise it. So, yeah.
If we win that national championship, nobody will be able to tell us shit.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Nothing. Yep. And I feel that if Mario gets us there and we win it, The question that I have for you all, are all his debts paid?
Absolutely.
If a national title is delivered, yes.
If he
I
if he
will.
wins the
I will.
national title, yeah,
Yeah, I will publicly on every hours
you win.
here,
You win a championship.
any podcast. I will go on all the groups. I will give all the. I said that from day one.
Mm-hmm.
If he can prove me wrong, please prove me wrong. I want
Please.
to be wrong.
Yep.
Because for Miami to be successful, you have to be successful. And if he can do that, hell yeah, I will give him all the props he can get because
Yep.
he deserves it.
Yep. Yep. And at the end of the day, the boys got to go out there and they got to want it just as bad as the fans. And that has been my argument for 20 plus years now, that
Yep.
the fans have more heart and we don't play the games, but yet our negativity is what's been the reason why we've sucked for bullshit.
I would argue that Virginia Tech during a period of that game, a portion of it, played with more desire than what we did.
Of course. Yeah.
Yep.
For a
Just
And
little
seeing
see-
James Franklin. Yep.
Right. Now, my thing is that it was all about the funding. Money wasn't putting back into the school. It was all about the AD, not putting the money back into the football program. It was about the facilities. It was about the teams. It was about the this. It was about the that. Now, there's no excuse. Okay. We haven't heard nothing about Ruiz. Nothing about Ruiz. But he is not the only billionaire that supports us. That's just the only one that you hear about. He's the head ornament. You don't think for 1 second that there are not other alumni that support this program.
Mm-hmm.
Mario did not want to come here unless you put money into the program. That's why we're playing catch up now.
Mm-hmm.
But understand something. We have the money. We have the blank checkbook that we can get anybody that we want. Any players that we want, any coaches that we want. The name of the game now is coaching. The talent is here. Just like in Louisiana, it's talent there. It's Texas, they have talent there. It's Georgia, they have talent there. California, they have talent there. We got the talent here to get the people of who we want. A blank checkbook. Okay? We invest into our program. We do this the right way. We're not just building a championship team. We'll be building a dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the things that we need to do because we got cheated out of our dynasty. So now we need to get rid these receipts and we got revenge.
I agree. Rocky, who's your idiot of the week, by the way? Hard to follow that, but
Yeah, I got a main one, and then I got an honorable mention. It's kind of off the board, but I got to give my main one to Pat Narduzzi for the coach we're playing next week for that dumbass fake punt. In that it didn't hurt him. That was the dumbest call of the year. When you're up 35-21 and you're punting back to Georgia Tech, and he tried to pull that fake punt for whatever reason. I don't know. That was some dumb shit. Yeah. So Pat Narduzzi gets my idiot of the week, and LFJ, this one's for you. My honorable mentions: Mason Rudolph. Gotcha, bro.
Oh, no, I was gonna give you props. You already know who mine is. I was gonna give you props. You took a little bit of my thunder, but it's all good. I'm gonna come with another round of thunderstorms.
What you got?
I got co-idiots of the week. So my first co-idiot of the week is Kevin Stefanski, because guess what, people? Shedeur Sanders finally takes the field after running with the ones, and he goes 11-19 for 209 yards and a touchdown. And guess what, Cleveland? You won. You stupid motherfucker. If you would have let him get in the game earlier this season and let him run with the ones, you probably win a few games. And the segue to my other co-idiot of the week, let's talk to that Timu bubble-eyed Mike Tomlin, goddamn Omar Epps looking motherfucker. You just shit the bed against Chicago like I said you would. You shit the bed. You let Baltimore, who come from 1-5 6 weeks ago, to now taking the lead in the division. And now guess what? You got 2 games to play against them before the end of the season.
And our defense is decimated, LFJ. Decimated. We were down like 7 starters.
Didn't I tell you congratulations this morning? I said, yeah, I told you, give me your cash app. I could have sent you your dollar ahead of time. I told you.
I couldn't believe it.
I know I did. I know Pittsburgh. I knew, God damn it, that fake ass Q from Juice motherfucker was going to lose this fucking game.
Hey.
Facts.
You
Black
got the
Mario
juice now.
That's Black Mario Cristobal, man. He ain't nothing but a Black Mario Cristobal. He's gonna get in the fucking press conference. You know, this is what he gonna do. Well, I should have done better. It all starts with me. It all starts with me. I got to do a better job preparing this team. So everything starts with me, and we'll just have to get back to the draw. Shut the fuck
We got to get
up.
back to work.
Yeah.
Back to work.
Yeah, back to work.
Hey, he's like Rikishi. I did it for The Rock. I did it for the people. Shut your mouth, you thong wearing fatty.
With Fatty. Yeah.
Shut your mouth, you thong wearing fatty. So,
You know what? Real quick before we get out of here, I'm gonna say
no,
this.
you're good. Yeah.
Oh, God.
I told this to Joseph Bernard last night when they were coming back from Virginia. They were coming back from Blacksburg. They had a 3-hour drive back to Columbia. I've never been so ready for football season to be over this soon. Like, it's not even Thanksgiving, and I've had it. I'm done. Like, fuck football. I'm done. Just
I hate to say this, honestly. I've kind of turned my attention to college basketball. I really have. There's been some really good matchups, actually. The Arizona Connecticut was fire last week. I watched that game. So, but
yeah,
these freshman studs, the future NBA. Oh man, they're all living up to the hype at their schools. Okay, so here's real quick my idiots of the week. First off, Jethro Clampett, who I started off with Hunter. I mean. Their losses were good loss. I mean, what is that? I mean, really? Why don't you take your 6th place pink participation ribbon at field day and shove it up your ass sideways, Hunter? I mean, honestly, fuck you. The other one is the Philadelphia Eagles today. You cost me fucking money because you were up 21-0, and then you fucking lose to the damn Cowboys, and let them get a field goal to win the game. Yeah.
They lost?
They fucking lost, man.
So they're pulling Miami. They were up 21-0 and they choked.
They thought they were good. They thought they were good. Yep. They thought they were good.
So they lost against the Navy and Silver Syracuse.
No, I had to hear that all evening, Stallion. I got family that's Cowboys fans.
Oh,
that Shy gonna be talking shit. She's a Cowboys fan.
Is she really? Oh well, I mean, like I said, I mean, I thought that was going to be an easy win for the Eagles. The sad thing is, their guys got me the fantasy points I needed to win the game, and now I'm in the 2nd place or 1st place for the playoffs in that big fantasy league.
I watched the game, Stallion. Dak Prescott tried to throw him like 4 picks. They just dropped the ball.
And they couldn't. They just dropped the ball. I mean, it's unbelievable. So, and then my third idiot of the week was Kansas State's coach going on there and crying after you fucked it up is what you did, you dumbass. I mean, what you go away from what worked, and you talk about getting conservative, and you had this stupid look on your face, and Utah, it was a gritty win. You had them by the balls. You could have salvaged your season with that fucking, blonde-haired Hulk Hogan look-alike quarterback of theirs with that long hair.
Oh God.
My God, you are idiots. I mean, you had them by the balls and you let them slip. I mean, you're fucking terrible. Kansas State, they stink too. There you go, idiot.
I am the real American.
Yeah, real loser in Utah or whatever like that.
Oh my gosh!
I call him Goldilocks, but then Hulk Hogan.
He is Goldilocks Hulk Hogan. I mean, he's a piece of shit. I mean, what the fuck tell you something, brother. In there? And then he throws that pick it's a pick 6 2-point conversion. Just kick the guy extra point, man. If you go up 13, that means they have to score 2 touchdowns anyway or whatever. And then if you do get the ball back, all you need is a field goal. I mean, God.
Somebody from the committee called down on the field and said, man, if you win this game, Miami's got a shot. You better do something to fuck it up.
Damn right they did. I mean, yeah. So, and then he goes and cries.
Look at LMJ, man. You're probably right.
And then he goes and cries about it like, we went through a lot of stuff this year, and I just hate it for these guys. Well, you should have done better for them. Cry me a river, you fat fucking baby. So shit. God. Damn, that pissed me off.
I think Stallion has the funniest. Let me tell you something. Last story before we get out of here.
Last story, yeah. So.
Before we get out of here, because I got to get up in the morning.
Yeah,
I
do too. I got to.
Oh, damn, Stallion, boy.
When I tell you, Stallion has no filter. My wife, I was watching. We were watching every time we do Utah. Yeah, no matter what show, when it's over, I always go and I watch it when I get out of the room here, and I go in the living room and watch it on the big screen. And the morning that Stallion had said that Mario would fuck up he said Mario would fuck up a wet dream. Said this man could have 3 hookers and he would still fuck it up. My wife heard that shit, and my wife has not let that shit go. But anytime Stallion comes on, I want you to watch myself and AO like this morning.
Oh, that was great.
He
Yeah.
said we had to watch Indiana get butt fucked in the playoffs last
Yeah. Because that's what happened. I mean, they got butt fucked on national TV, you know? I mean,
I gotta watch that.
No, you just have to. It was the first. It was like what 15 minutes in the show. I got my 5 minutes, but I just went off. I mean, it's just like
Hey.
I want to see Mario. I want to see us in there because we're must see TV. I don't want to see Navy or James Madison get their shit pushed in. You know, by Ole Miss's interim coach. So that's
But Stallion, hang on now. But Stallion, I know a little more than these guys do because I see you on that other show. And you hold back on that other spot too.
I know.
So again, you need to come with me.
But this is his shit, so he can say what he wants.
No. I get
and
that.
on our show, he can say what he wants to. You know,
I get you, but on that other one, we same thing, man. Come with me at the end of the year.
I will. No.
Last one.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to make an appearance. I forget what I did. I've just been busy on the Tuesday night, so I've been listening.
It's a tough night for me too.
Yeah, and then plus, if you don't get in there at 7:45, man, you ain't gonna get on till like 10 when they're wrapping up or whatever. But like you gotta like, and they give some people more time than others. It's whatever. I mean, I honestly was surprised. He called me a couple of years ago and said, "Hey, man, I remember you used to call in the old show. We're doing it different." I thought I was being pranked, to be honest with you. I really did. But he sent me the links. He sends me the link every week. But no, I will bring it. No, and I've been called out by Cuban Kane and some other people back in the day that like, I'm so mean on you talk, but I'm so nice on with Gary Furman. And the truth of the matter is, I do have one thing for him. I know he's doing his job and he's a mouthpiece for the university. The two I can't stand are Peter Ariz and D Money because their narrative changes from week to week. And I know that they're diehards or whatever, but they're part of the problem too because they hype up and they make excuses, but in the same breath, they know that their shit stops if they go against, you know. I don't care. I don't. I don't live down there. I live up here. But I'm not. But I'm gonna tell you this. I was a Kane fan before this group was in charge, and I'll be a Kane fan after this group was in charge. And ain't nobody gonna make me change who I am, and so forth. And that's the bottom line. So there's a respecting, but I agree with you. No, I will be there this Tuesday, but I will definitely be there next Tuesday, especially if it's decided. You know, could you imagine this when they do the reveal the Tuesday after this all plays out on the weekend, and if we're on the outside looking in, and they say, well, conference championships are pretty much locked in, and this is going to be it, you know, depending on who wins the conference championships and blah, blah, blah. And if I hear that for the second year in a row, oh, it's fucking on. It's fucking on because there's nobody else to blame but that constipated bastard behind Larry over there. Honestly. There's nobody else to blame. Yeah, I mean.
Take some X-Lax, bitch.
I mean, we're worried about former players and Nevin Shapiro, and it's like, dude, you need to focus on the opponent because they don't let outside noise get in. They were getting ready to start.
And like I said, I cannot divulge what I found out, but when it comes out, this motherfucker behind up here, he's not what everybody thinks he is. I found out some information, but I've been sworn to secrecy. I'm not blowing no smoke up your ass. I cannot say what I found out, but a very credible source has relayed some stuff about this motherfucker. But we got to just wait in due time. Just remind me whenever things happen, and when it can come out, I will put it out. And when you guys find out what came out about this motherfucker, just let time pass. It'll come out.
But real quick to finish it up, I don't think I'll be surprised. You know, honestly, because I have been you know, accustomed to the whether it's skeletons or whatever and what people are capable of. I'm telling you, man, I just tell things at night so I can at least get 5 hours sleep to function at work. But I would not be surprised about him. I know that when Feinbaum called out that fake Bible salesman Dabo Sweeney, he was spot on about him, and I never agree with that penis head looking motherfucker with the taxi cab with the ears open. I want to.
God.
anyway. So, all right, guys. Well, listen, let's just see what shakes out. Real quick, do you think that the committee, last question, does the committee put us at 11 or do they leave us at 13 with a Vanderbilt in front of us? What do you all predict real quick?
Hopefully they put us in, but you know what? I just wouldn't hold my breath on it. Just prepare yourself for the worst. I mean, all we got to do is win out. You know what I'm saying? We taking care of what we could take care of, and we didn't take care of everything that we could have taken care of. But at the end of the day, we're 10-2. If they put us in, that's great. If we didn't, then hey, we know what we got to do. But one thing about it, just and I don't want to be the Debbie Downer or nothing like that. Just prepare yourself for an answer that you just might not get, you know, or an answer that you might not love. So just saying that, but I hope we get in.
I am optimistic on Tuesday night that we'll come in at 12. I'm optimistic that we'll come in at number 12 with Vandy about right behind us. Even though today in the AP and the coaches poll, Vandy jumped us. I think the playoff committee will put us at least at 12 going into the last week of the season with, if the dominoes all fall, and you know, you always ask at the end of the show, Stallion, what we think about the weekend. Look, I'm a Kane fan. I'm going to be rooting for, let me go down the list. I'm going to be rooting for Tennessee. I'm going to be rooting for Auburn. I'm going to be rooting for Duke. I'm going to be rooting for, SMU. Cal, I'm sorry. I'm going to be rooting for whoever else, that we need for the dominoes to fall. LSU, that's another one. So that's what I'm going to be. But I think we're gonna be at 12. Cautiously optimistic, we're going to be at 12. And I'm going to go into the weekend. Let's go take care of Pitt and just praying the chips fall where they may. Because I want to see us in the playoffs. I think if we get in, I actually think we got a shot. Believe it or not, because we getting up for the big games isn't our problem.
It's the little
our
ones.
problem is not getting up for Notre Dame or Florida. Right. Or, that's not our problem. I'm more worried. Crazy as it sounds. And even though I still think we win this Saturday, we have a harder time getting up for that game than what we do a playoff game. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
I'd argue if they had lost to Georgia Tech, that would have been prime recipe for what we'd been calling for, that we'd lose. I think them beating Georgia Tech was the best thing that could have happened in Miami. Honestly, I really do. Having them ranked, like Larry said, I think that's the best thing that could happen to us, honestly. So, but if the CFP, before I let you answer, Larry, I'll tell you one thing. If the CFP really wants to play chicken, why don't you have some balls and put Miami in at 9? That'll really get the conversation started then. Because then does Miami choke with that pressure that they're already in? If you really want us out, do that mind fuck. But you don't have the balls to do it. But it'd get people talking. Larry, finish it up, bud. So.
You should have Utah and Miami flip-flop, because Utah struggled and should have lost. You can make a case for BYU as well. I would think that Miami goes up a slot to number 12, like Rocky. I agree. But I think they'll some kind of way slip Vandy right behind Miami, because they want to make that play for Vanderbilt. Like, they don't give a fuck who gets in from the SEC. They just want SEC teams. They want 6. Mm-hmm. You potentially want 6 SEC teams, 3 Big Ten teams, a Big 12 champion, an ACC champion, and a group of 4.
Yeah, a group of 4, bitch. So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what you want. Or 5 with Notre Dame. Well, let me take that back. 5 SEC teams with Notre Dame, with the others that I mentioned.
6.
It's gonna come down, obviously. And I'm so glad that Pitt is ranked, so that helps Miami out. But like Rocky, man, we just got to watch all these other games. If we can get a couple of dominoes to fall, if we can get Oklahoma to lose, if we can get an Iron Bowl upset, and Miami handles business, it don't matter about the ACC. They're in.
Mm-hmm. They're in. Possibility, man. Big possibility.
You go 10-2, having won 4 ranked games, and you got those other teams from the SEC with 3 losses. Miami's in. Mm-hmm. You cannot deny them.
That's it. And one last thing for the constipated motherfucker behind you. I'm going to throw you a 4th whore for the whorehouse, Mario. Don't fuck this up. If you go up 21-0 in the first quarter, that doesn't mean let the air out of the ball. That means go up 42-0 going into halftime and leave no doubt. And then that means go up 63-0 and play everybody and keep pouring it on until they say no mas. That's what you need to fucking do, amigo. Comprende? All right.
See.
Comprende, compadre.
Comprende? Cuatro putas para ti. So there you go. All right, guys.
Chupa mi verga.
Chupa mi verga.
LFJ, tough one this Friday, bro. Oak Grove. That's a tough one.
Boy, St. James got that. We ain't
You
worried
think they
about
got
that.
it?
I know they got it. Boy, St. James something
I hope you
different,
guys
man.
get it done, Larry. I hope you guys get it done.
Third
man. I
time
really
got to be
do.
the charm, man. We
Third
done
time's
been
the
there
charm,
twice, man. We got to bring it home.
I think they're ready. I think they're ready.
Vanderbilt and E.D. White both in the quarterfinals.
Larry, shoot me a text and let me know, win or lose Friday night, what happens in that game, please.
Will do.
Yeah,
Will
for sure.
Will do.
Yeah. Well, guys, listen, we end it every show. Let's throw up that U, baby, because we believe it's us against the world. It's always been us against the world. Always been us against the world. And that U became the U because it stood for you got to believe. Hey, whatever Chris
God
willed
damn it.
into existence, that's what I want. Whatever Chris willed into existence, that's what I want to happen. Larry, I'll even take your scenario that some craziness happens, that we somehow backdoor our way into Charlotte, because that would be the way that it would have to be. And, of course, it'd be the year that I can't make it, So
Claim it. Claim it. We're going to
will
have chaos.
They,
Miami will beat Pitt. SMU will choke. Manny Diaz will choke. Virginia will choke.
Come on, Tigers. Come
Let's
on,
go.
Tigers.
LSU.
And we
everybody.
yes.
Dear LSU.
And we owe Pitt.
Yes, LSU. Fuck you, but go Tigers. Either which way, I'm claiming it.
EAUX, Stallion. Go Tigers. EAUX.
Hey, in my best Ed Orgeron impression, go Tigers.
Oh, you can understand them? Because all I hear is that's all I hear.
Listen, Rocky will tell you, us down here in Louisiana, shit, y'all ain't gonna understand them shit. We fucking, that's like a fucking educated conversation. You get them two damn down south Cajuns down there, boy.
The
Down the Bayou Cajuns.
the pride of La Rose, Louisiana.
La Rose, Louisiana. When you get down there around La Rose and Galliano and Cut Off and all of that shit. Them motherfuckers make former Fran and the Water Boy look like a bunch of Wall Street bankers.
Well, all I'm gonna say is,
Ayo.
yeah. I'm gonna say is thank you for everyone that chimed in, everybody, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, with everything. Chris, Rocky, great for your time. The chat box, Eric Carroll, Brandon Brock, everybody that participated. Gerard was on there as well. But let's just hope that we get it done. And hey, go Canes, baby! That's what it is. It's us against the world, and let's get it done this weekend and get in that playoffs and let's rock somebody's fucking ass.
Yes, sir.
Go Canes.
Yeah, go
Tune in next
Canes.